Hi esports and welcome back to Valorant NSC Spring Division 1. It's been a long journey to get here and it's still going. My name is Quino and I'm joined by the lovely Sylvie.
Yeah,
How are you doing today, my lovely?
I'm great. Apart from the horrible weather putting like a horrible feeling on my day.
That's what we get for doing a broadcast in Stoke. You know what I mean? But yeah, we do have our teams, the Hagrid Hermiones versus Southampton Reckoning. And speaking of Stoke, we have to talk about our home team, Hagrid's
Love, love,
Hermiones.
love.
There is no bias here, but obviously we might be rooting for them a little bit. But
Just a
they
tad.
have also been performing brilliantly during this entire series.
Oh yeah, no. Like aside from being our home team, they have been playing good. But what about the other team? Have we seen much of them? I think we did.
See, I was gonna say, Hagrid's Hermiones have a lot of synergy. We know these friends. You know, they're all together all the time. Guys, I don't think I've ever seen them in separated. But you know, a bit of a joke. They actually have a player on Southampton called Synergy. So
Oh,
let's put two and two together. Does that mean they have more synergy because they have a player called Synergy, or does actual friendship mean more synergy? This is
the
proper.
friendship of like magic.
This is a proper tongue
like
twister, guys. But it should be good. So I think it'll be we are a brilliant game because both of these have only lost one game during this bracket, and that is to the Nottingham Archers. So knowing that the only loss for both of them is against the same person, it's kind of like okay, you
maybe
might be
they're
at
like equally
yeah
matched.
similar skill levels. Do we want to see that, or do you think it's going to be a stomp?
I think it'll be a bit close, but there's also a chance of being a stomp for either team. Both of them have like proven themselves and shown themselves, so it's not like we can be biased when we see such talent on both ends.
And that's what we want to see. That's what we're here celebrating at NSC. These young talents that I could never beat. Guys, I've tried 1v1 in them in the right play club. Did not work. It did not work out. But speaking of the right play club, we've had a little chance today to try out the new agent mix. And I will say, I'm impressed. I'm quite excited. What's your favourite part about him?
um, God, I didn't get to see much.
Ooh, suspense.
So so it probably was just like the like because he can throw a heel down, can't he? But he can also throw a stun down.
Okay.
Like the
Oh yeah, he
difference,
has the two like
yeah, the
choice. Yeah.
difference in like the abilities is like what I am like excited to see how it gets put into the like games, into the comps.
I can't wait to see how it kind of shapes a few metas with that stem. But also, judging by the nature of the character, he's gonna be a loud one. You know what I mean? Like he just gonna be spamming voice lines, and that's not what we want to see. It's like imagine a neon mix gecko. Who else is loud? Rays. All of these clove. Imagine that as a five stack. You're not even gonna hear footsteps. You're gonna hear pure chat, and maybe that's the vibe. Maybe that's the synergy
Oh,
we were expecting. But let's go back to the team. So on the side of Southampton Reckoning, they seem to have a really strong duelist presence. Because looking at the matches that they've had, they have the three main players, two of them are duelists, and they seem to just kind of consistently top frag.
yeah.
And they kind of have two others. So work with me here.
Okay, I'm listening.
I think that they're using these two either as fodder or as a support. And do you reckon that's a smart idea when you have these star players?
I think so. I mean, it just is like what they're comfortable with and what like their synergy is like. Like if they think they are the best on the duelists and they have two that are great on duelists, it's like they're gonna push that if they're comfortable with that. But then if the synergy's not great on that, they're obviously gonna switch it up.
Oh, okay, I see. Now, is there anything you're expecting to see? Because we are nearly ready to get into it. Is there anything you want to see, expect to see, or just or not want to see? Anything?
Um, Maybe some like different maps because we see like a lot of consistent maps. Maybe something different. But I mean, everyone's like obviously comfortable with the same map, so I don't think it's gonna happen. But yeah, and maybe some like different agents played. But again, everyone has their kind of same comfortable spot. So
I agree with that. Give the observers a bit of fun, guys. The Fed up of Haven. That's all I have to say. I think even the casters are fed up of Haven, but they seem to have a lot of opinions about it. So I think it's time to go over to our casters, and they'll take you through this game.
Thank you for that, Quino. I'm Jack Destroy4, joined by Madsbear, and yeah, we will be your casters taking you through today's game. And I mean, kind of alluded it to a bit there, but Haven is one of those maps that just keeps getting picked.
It does indeed, and it makes sense. There was a lot of best of ones going through these early on group stages, which you want to have that default, that kind of comfort pick. Yeah. Lots of Havens, lots of binds. I'm over it. It's done. I want corrodes. I want splits. Corrode's leaving soon as well, right?
True. Yeah, just like bring in some of those ones that aren't going to be there in the future, but also like when Lotus left the pool, I thought, do you know what? We finally won't have that map that everyone picks. And
want
then
it back.
Haven and Bind just keeps happening, and now we're getting it back soon as well. Like, I just don't want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, talking about maps, we are going to have our veto coming through, and okay,
I'll
take it. I'll take it. One Haven in there, but you have Corrode and Abyss, switching things up a little bit. These are the two most recent maps coming into the game. Yeah. And they've been so strong at really switching up how games are supposed to be played. Abyss, a lot of ups and downs and different levels as well as you can fall off the map. Now we're seeing a lot of different pistol rounds, especially eco rounds on that map. And Corrode itself, having a lot of those really tight corners and a lot of boxes that you can shoot through as well.
Yeah, Corrode's kind of one of those maps that you can have a bit more fun with it. You can have a few more fun takes. You've got all that mid position you can take. You can choose to just give it up. You can try and take the long fights, or you can, smoke off top, push all the way up, especially on attack side. And you've got a lot of that mid control. It gives you those options to rotate, but also it takes a long time to rotate.
It does, especially on the mid control. You also want it on that defensive side because, like you say, it takes so long to rotate round that attacking side is going to opt to go through mid most of the time. So if you can try and lock that down early on, it gives you a much more bigger advantage trying to kind of squeeze that team into where you want it to be.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, looking into Corrode, are there any agents you're kind of looking forward to seeing or expecting to see?
I like Fade on this map. Talking about those tight corners again, Sova's great for these long distances because, especially in mid, like we've been talking about, those tight corners around elbow, you need those Fade prowlers to be able to try and clear out those corners quickly and keep that fast pace moving.
Yeah, I feel like I'll also be interested to see what controllers they pick in. I feel like we see a lot more these days, especially of the double controller picks. You're seeing those Vipers combined with like an Omen or something. And on a map like this, I mean, having that Viper could be useful, but do you instead opt into having a double duelist setup, for example? Have that Yoru that can just flash into the backlines.
I mean, we've been seeing a lot of comps recently where we've been seeing double controller, Sentinel, and then either double duelist or duelist and initiator. So we can be seeing that, that triple lockdown, like the defensive lockdown, if you will. Because, it's like you're saying, the double controller tends to be kind of used as a sentinel. But if you're using that chamber on top of that...
Oh, chamber, yeah.
It's really, really strong.
I feel like especially with a chamber, being able to lock down mid, you just, post your chamber up. You just say, look, you just watch mid the whole round. If they smoke you off, whatever. Just don't let them push past that smoke and give up that control and be ready to be that first person to rotate over.
Yeah, I mean, you see similar things on Haven as well, which we might be seeing a bit of. But Chamber's been used a lot more recently, which has been great. But I do believe we are going into agent select, so we'll have to see who is getting picked. But yeah, who do you...
I'm just interested on the duelist side. I feel like Phoenix straight away locked in through on one side. On the other side, we've got the Neon and the Yoru hovered as well. I feel like that's a bit more standard, maybe the way they possibly also picked through. But seeing a Phoenix already?
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, especially alongside, obviously, the Jet hasn't been locked in yet, but it's looking like it's going to be happening. You tend to see Jet as more of a comfort pick and then having that other duelist as more of that kind of entry, very stable part of it. I mean, but then again, we talk about these corners and these very tight spaces. These flashes from Phoenix could be really strong. On the other side, this is very typical. I'm liking this a lot.
I also find it interesting to see the Vise being hovered by Nebula there. I mean, one of those players that will often hop onto that sort of agent, but you have a flash on that. You have that extra initiator possibilities with it. Yes, you play it as a sentinel, you sit back, you set the wall up, but you have that option to be more aggressive on the attack side.
Which is helpful when you only have that Fade as that initiator, right? I mean, yes, you have the Yoru flashes, but with that Yoru and Waylay, you can have a lot of concentration on that mosquito kind of plays that you have, which is very great, by the way. I'm loving the kind of coming back and forth from the duelist, but you need to have a very stable rest of the team comp to be able to do that sort of thing. So having Fade, Omen, and Vise almost being able to be competent on their own allows you to then play this bit more of a risky comp.
Yeah, and I mean, on the other side, you've got the Viper Omen picked on through the double controller we were speaking about. on the defense side, I mean, that's a great way to start it off. You've got like, the extra smokes. You can rotate them in. So there's kind of no easy window into the site at any point.
Yeah, definitely. And alongside that double controller and double duelist is a very risky pick. But like say, you have that double controller on the side of that defense and double duelist on the side of attacks. You have a lot of control the whole time throughout these games. Because a lot of times we've seen these teams have a really strong start in one half, and then and that's where the comps mainly focus towards. And then you see them switch over, and it really just starts to crumble. But if you can have a stable, comp throughout,
yeah,
it should be good.
Yeah, as you said, the two-sided comps is kind of what you need to see. And, as you're saying, they have the ideas on one side. Teams will practice going into this. On the defense side, you'll have those setups. On the attack, you'll have your protocols you go for. But then when you flip to the other side, can you carry the momentum through? Or if you're on the other side, can you flip it in your favor? Like those pistol rounds. I mean, we talk about it even more on BO1s, but even in the BO3s, winning those pistols, that's an extra 4 rounds you get on board for free.
Definitely, but as we go into this game, Viper will already place down towards B and mid, like you said, taking that mid control as much as they can.
Now, it looks like just going to be a bit of an A push here with just the one sent up through mid. EUX going to see what he can find, but nothing found just yet. But now Haggis and Minies, though, will get caught out there, and all the kills go the way of Southampton. It's all left down onto the solo player and EUX. Got the Ghost in hand. Wants to go fighting here, but I mean, he's got so much to find.
Does indeed. 1v4, managing to get one so far, but Spike is down A main, and he's going to have to try and rotate back through. It's all very possible, though, on these pistol rounds. You never know. A little bit of damage done as well towards Southampton on a few of the players, so this could be very strong from them. But look at that lockdown towards A.
It's also just the lack of util as well. Being on a waylay is great, but when you've not got that TP back, you've not got that dash, you need to find a way in. You need to get that spike recovered, but EUX gets towards the spike here, will recover it and spot the one player. 45 seconds left on the clock and opts to go for the rotate.
A little bit of a jump coming through from the players to try and get a bit of information, but opts to come back, and Nitro going to get that final kill. And that is going to be the first round for Southampton. And as you were saying, these pistol rounds are very, very important.
Yeah, and I mean, a dominant round like that on the pistol round for Southampton, you kill all 4 as they want to go towards A. You stop any opportunities for them. EUX was just supposed to be an extra player in mid that you can activate later in the round. He's not supposed to have to do anything early, but when you kill the whole rest of the team, he's got no choice.
And that can be really strong. But like you say, when these things get countered really early, it's the same things we see as lurking sentinels, for example. When you see they're meant to play a lot slower through the map, and your whole team dies, then things suddenly get a little bit more difficult.
EUX is going to go towards mid again. Got that dash prop ready, goes into the same corner. Not going to spot anyone out just yet, but there we go. We'll spot the first player. The Jet dashes away. EUX opts to go back as the rest of the team just split across the map for now. Zaya going to be first player in towards A here. The spam's on through from Yem. Not connecting though. Gets brought down to 32 HP and has to run back. But Ungaboon's ready. Got the Bulldog. Gets tagged up. Weak though. And Zaya's managed to win the first there, getting that first blood. Oh, sorry, second.
And that's the thing, right? When you're playing, you have this gun advantage, but if you're still playing on your ones and you're playing against 1v2s, 1v3s, you're going to get teamed up against, even against these pistols.
Yeah, I mean, they sent one player over towards that B side. Did get taken out early, but Robbie could have a lot on his hands soon. Going to be some players on the other side, and I mean, with that Guardian in hand, you'd expect to see some good damage here. The clone sent on through. That's going to reveal his position. Opts to back on up. And for now, Hagrid and Mighties have managed to find the space and will be going towards B.
Well, indeed, with the Outlaw manages to get one, but is going to back off, and that is going to be a lot of space taken.
Trying to keep himself alive for now. The Ghost will connect as well. Synergy on for free. Wants to keep fighting forward. Maybe, go for that ace. Why not? Get the energy going quick. Alfie, though. Flash ready to go. Flash is on through. Spots out both players, but can't connect. Synergy's on 4. On for the ace. Zaya, last player standing in the corner. 60 HP remaining. Synergy wants to get the ace. Can't connect the first shot, though. Ghost in hand. Zaya's going to try and fight on through here. Synergy pops into the smoke, but Zaya wins it out, gets free on the round, but the molly will take him out. But only 2 players left standing for Southampton.
I was going to say, Zid did a lot for that team that round. It wasn't looking too good, managing to get that first pick really strong, and then you're down into a 1v4. Not great, but managing to get 2 more out of that afterwards is very, very strong. And now they're going to look at the eco. They've got the full buy coming through, a few ultimates on the horizon. Ish, here and there. But Synergy also, climbing on Nitro, 1 away. So this could be very, very strong. If these guys managing to maybe team up and use that Phoenix ultimate together, and managing to try and get even one rifle, will do the world.
Oh yeah, it'd be perfect for them. I mean, one of those guns they threw on the other side was an Outlaw. Full shields on the other side, that's not going to be very effective. So we'll have to see what they can get done with that one. Yem going to be ready with this blind. Looks like they want to get aggressive maybe with the Bucky on the other side, but the blind won't connect currently. Nitro going to send the flash on through, swings around, but gets taken down by Zaya. That's going to be the first blood as, I mean, Southampton tried to get that early pick. It does not pay off for them. Unga Bunga in the corner, though, will get taken down by Nebula. Alfie will get another as well, and that's going to be the site control for now, but Yem's still here and manages to get one, gets full blinded, though, and can't get any more. And it's all left down onto Synergy with that Outlaw in hand.
Does indeed. Did a lot for the team last round, managing to get, was it 4 on the board, I think? But this is going to be a lot of work done, and EUX managing to clear that up. And a very strong round from Hagrid's. That's the thing. These guys understand, even when they have these guns, they need to be careful. They're still, you've seen them flash out and 2 or 3 of them peeking at the same time. They're working as a team, and that's what you really don't underestimate the value of those guns.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, they saw that early aggression and made sure, you know, let's let them have that opportunity.
Yeah.
Flash came round. They were all hidden behind. None of them got flashed up. They were ready to take that out. And then when they pushed into sight, still making sure to clear those corners, aware there could be something like a shotgun, like that Bucky lurking nearby, and they're ready for it. Nitro, though, connects onto one. Robbie gets another as well. That's going to be 2 early kills here for Southampton. Hagrid's, I mean, not really able to find any space at all, and that's another player falling as well. Leaves it all down onto one. It's EUX again, this time in the 1v5. Can he connect onto the first 2? Yes, he can. 3 more players left to find. Spike not in hand, but this time, some util available. Got that TP back if needed. Still needs to recover this Spike, and there's a player watching ready.
There's indeed, and there's a few of them all split up though, so this could be 3 1v1s if he wants it and has the time to do so. EUX just needs to make sure he can clear his corners.
I think he's aware of the possibility, but knows the player could be watching. Well, from the other side is EUX going to swing on through, doesn't clear the corner though, and will get taken down. A nice attempt there, but unable to connect the shots in time and clear out those corners, and it will be a 3rd round on the board for Southampton.
It is indeed, and these guys are, honestly, the defense are also really strong. You know, talking about Hagrid's and how they've the competition they had was really good for that attack, but when they're not given a chance, when Southampton really just deny that from the get-go, there isn't much coming back from that from Hagrid's. We're not seeing a lot of, you know, adaptability, but also not really having much time. We're seeing 3 of them go down straight away.
Yeah. It feels like they have no way into these rounds and just getting taken down early, as this time EUX going through mid again. This time got a bit of support on the other side, but it looks like it's going to be an aggression on the A side for Southampton. They're going to spot out some of these players. They want to fight this. Robbie manages to get one, as one also for Nitro will get taken down, but it's too little too late. As Zaya, all alone in a 1v4. It seems like this is just what's happening for Hagrid Tomines.
Is indeed managing to isolate a 1v1 here if possible, but Yem going to opt to back off, which is probably the best idea. Never mind. Managing to get that last kill, and that is going to be 4-1 on the board for Southampton, and that's exactly what I was saying before. If they can deny this push early on, they're just not giving them a chance. You know, there's 3 kills again going down early on. You're leaving one more player yet again in a 1v4.
Yeah, and also for them, I mean, you know, when you're up in these 1v4s, this is where we see those teams maybe overcommit a bit. You know, go chasing. But here, Yem just backs up.
Exactly, and it's knowing when to do that, which makes such a strong individual player, but also the team synergy. It allows for much more team synergy, sorry. But when I was seeing a few ultimates coming up, there is going to be an eco round for Hagrid, so maybe trying to, you know, get a bit more economy before they start using those, but can we seeing a little bit more of a Valorant round, maybe?
Yeah, we'll have to see what they can do. As Robbie wants to go aggressive this time through mid, aware that EUX has been pushing up every single one of these rounds, but will get taken down weak early on. Taken down to some low HP. A couple stray bullets could take him out, but for now, I mean, that deep smoke is going to be sent on through to just give the space over to Southampton, but it seems like Hagrid Tomines, they don't mind too much about this.
They don't indeed. A little bit of a split up, you know, trying to get these picks if they can, but a lot of pings, and they're getting a lot less aggressive this time from Southampton. A lot of space taken in mid, though. However, just trying to, you know, keep their lives best they can.
This could be really good, though, because they managed to split the team of Hagrid Tomines here. They can't go through mid. They know they don't have that space because of that deep smoke earlier on.
Yeah.
They have to go for that long rotate, but they've got full site control on A site.
They do indeed. A few pings coming through, but they're just being a little bit too cautious. The smokes are going to come through, and it's going to allow for a bit more space to be taken. Hopefully that spike goes down, but Robbie could be in a really good position there.
Timing is everything. JWB will get the spike planted down for now. Sheriff's in the hands of a lot of these players. Gonna have to connect these shots. I mean, it's definitely possible for them, as it's gonna be a retake for Southampton. A 5-on-5. See if they can find that early pick. It's gonna be down to what can Hagrid Hermione's find here. Just trying to lock it down. It seems like Southampton maybe a bit scared to start pushing in. They'll find the first, but will get traded back by Zaya. Spotting more players on through, and they've managed to win that fight for now as well. The weapon's taken out of their hands, and they're forced to push on back. But they are winning these fights for now. Down to 2 players left. For dash on through as well to try and protect the player, but Zaya's connects the shots onto the second as well. The Sheriff is connecting, brings it down to a 1v2. The TP behind the wall. But Nitro manages to get one, make that a second as well. Is there time? Yes, there is, just about. Southampton clutched that one out. A great play there by Nitro.
It was indeed, and you know, it's just these little micro plays are getting that spike down, halved. Sorry, it's just allowing your teammate to be able to have a bit more time and a bit more space to do so. And Nitro used it very, very well, clearly.
Yeah.
A great round from Hagrid. So we're seeing a second that Southampton don't want to be on that bit more attacking side. These guys just take site, and it's fine. And it was working really, really well for them, but they were pushing a bit too much. You have the spike down, and I know you don't have a pick yet, which can be really important. It's really hard to take, to go against a retake with 5 people still alive. But they just pushed way too much.
Talking about pushing too much, Alfie lad straight away with this ultimate, gonna just try and find as much intel as possible. Will TP back to rejoin the team, but they now know the positions of a couple players. EUX over the top will get taken down as Nitro gets one with the molly as well. And again, early on, Hagrid Hermione's being taken down. Synergy finds another as well, and it's all down onto one. This time Nebula. I mean, we've seen him do some crazy things before, but this would have to be something special. Manages to get the first, but nothing more, as there's too many players on the other side, and Southampton keeping it clean.
They are indeed, and it just seems a little bit sloppy from Hagrid's, right? I mean, I understand, you try and maybe keep them off their guard a little bit and do a fast push with the ultimate, but there was no one really there to back each other up, which is weird because we saw it on that third round when they had those guns, really strong team synergy. And the second, it started to crumble a little bit. But now look at how many ultimates are coming up as well, especially for Southampton. Nearly 5 on the board for them.
Yeah, I mean, they've not even needed to really invest these.
No.
I mean, they've sent the Phoenix ult through once to run it back, but that's just an extra life on the team.
Exactly. I mean, they've popped another one. They don't really need it, especially since Hagrid's are going to be on eco round.
They'll have to see what they can do. Hagrid Hermione's going to be dashing in fast. It's another one of these fast takes. The dash on back, though. As Unga Bunga's managed to find the first. That's despite Fallen, as Yen will combine for a second. And all the kills again going the way of Southampton. And again, it's all left down onto EUX. So that first player to dash on in has to TP back, though, and there's nothing more to be found. Gets 2 with a Sheriff, but that will be all. Some good damage in the end, but I think the money's still there for Southampton.
It is indeed. I mean, these guys are going to be completely fine for the rest of the half, right? And you're seeing Hagrid's, they're getting quite a lot of kills on their eco rounds, which is great when you're on an eco round.
Yeah.
But if you're not winning your buy rounds when you get to them, there's not much point.
Yeah, and I think they've realized this, and they've now had to call that timeout.
Yeah.
They're calling that one through, going, guys, we need to hit the stop. We need to find a way back into this. The only round they've been able to win so far is that third round, which when you lose the pistol is the one you're supposed to win for free.
Exactly. But I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't be too down about it in terms of like an individual round. They managed to get a few kills, 2 ultimates invested from the other side. Not too bad. But if you look at the scoreboard and the 7-1, you haven't got much time left in this half to be able to kind of crawl back with that, especially with the double duelist. They have such an attacking comp that it could work really, really well. The second they get on defense, how is that going to work?
Yeah. I mean, if you're not winning the fights for now, swap over to the defense side, it's probably not going to massively change. And it feels like as well, yes, you've had a couple of these close rounds, comes down to the 1v1, but the majority of them, it's just been them pushing in and Southampton just demolishing them. They've all been dead.
I mean, to be fair, I do think they can have a very strong hold on defense. It seems like they like it when they have a lot more control over the map, so on that defensive side, it makes a lot more sense. But if the scoreboard stays like this, you haven't got much of a reach to, really climb back from that with the time that will be left in the game.
Yeah, have to see what they go for now, as looks like it's going to be some early mid aggression. This time sending the eye over from JWB to try and spot out these players. See where that lands. Will it tag onto any player? They spotted out one. EUX goes into this spot again. This early aggression, but doesn't want to commit too far. Still has the option to go back. Will opt to stay forward for now. This is a bit of space for them, and they've got one player lurking towards B as well.
Good. A few crowds coming out, a bit of information. EUX in this position. Seems to be here a few times now, but trying to get anything early on, but isn't going to manage to get any sort of peaks, and doesn't look like anyone's going elbow anytime soon, but it's very much standstill at the moment. A few people peeking towards A and B, but not much decisions going on.
Yeah, I mean, Southampton just happy to sit back.
Exactly.
They know they can win these rounds. They've won it on the retake. They've won it when, you know, Hagrid's and Mighty's have tried to push in. They don't need to go aggressive.
Exactly. A few jump peaks coming through from Yem. Trying to see if we get anything. Smoke does go down, and it does actually allow a lot of space, but Robbie is going to hold it down very, very well and manage to get that kill.
Yeah, Robbie, though, could have a lot to deal with here. We'll get full blinded up, and the EUX is going to go through, but still, Robbie wins the fight out for now. The spam will be there from JWB, though. So the trade is in, but not before they find 2 and Yem. This could be really good timing. The wall just about keeping JWB alive, and it's going to be a bit of a timing game here as Zaya's managed to find one towards site, but Unga Bunga ready. Holds it down, takes down Zaya. One player left standing, it's JWB, but they've got someone on the flank as well. It's only a matter of time before he falls. There's so many players around. Just see what he can find for now. Taps the spike, trying to bait these players forward. The blind is there, and it's perfect. And Synergy will find that last kill on the round, and it's 8 in on the round for Southampton.
It is indeed, and it says there's corners we're talking about, right? Robbie in a really good corner up towards mid. We're seeing another player towards A sitting in the corner, and it's so perfect because you've left so much time. Hagrid, you know, wanted to play a little bit slow. Fair enough. Like you said, Southampton are happy to wait. So we're sitting, taking these corners one by one, and it just, when you're waiting that long, the time starts ticking down. You're like, oh, we've got to get the spike down. So trying to, you know, try and get on that site. Not even really bothering to check out these corners too much, and it just doesn't work out in their favour.
Yeah, and it puts them onto another one of these Sheriff buys. I mean, they've been unable to convert any thrifties just yet, but again, it's this dash again, but I feel like it's not really getting them much space.
No.
You know, EUX gets into this corner, great, yes, but he just doesn't have a way to scale from there.
Exactly. No one's really helping him with that either. We're saying, okay, now we're seeing a few prowlers going towards elbow, and that is going to take a lot of space, but okay.
First kill found for JWB there, but there is already one on the other side, so it won't be a numbers advantage for now, but this will be the A site for Hagrid's Hermione's, but I'm not sure they know if they have this just yet.
Yeah, definitely, spike is going to go down, and it's going to be a full rotate over towards A, but look how much mid presence is going to be taken over by Southampton here.
Yeah, they're going to all funnel through mid. JWB going to have to be the player to watch out. The Prowler doesn't spot him out, though. So timing could be in his favor, but there's 3 players on the other side of this, ready to swing on through together. And there we go, the first taken down. Zaya connects as well. That's the ultimate out of the way, but the shot's connecting on the other side. Nebula finds one with the Sheriff and manages to back on up for now. This makes it down to the timing, all left on Southampton. It's all down onto Robbie. Got the HP in his favor, the spam's perfect. Takes down Nebula. Brings it to this 1v1. Alfie Lad's 3 HP though. This could be really bad, and he swings on through. Robbie will manage to win that one out, and he has time on the defuse as well.
Does indeed. And the issue, right, we're seeing just, again, those peaks through mid, I get it, right? You doubled up even, you know, you had JWB and Zia both there backing them up. But there's 3 of them, right? You kill the Phoenix ult, right?
Yeah.
Then Zia gets another one, cool. And then there's still 2 more there, and it's just, you don't need to be keeping that hold for so long.
Yeah.
And then you're seeing, that's the issue, that those 2 go down, that's the bridge gone between the gap of the other 2 players left. So now you've got 2 players, I believe it was Nebula and Alfie Lad left. One's in main, one's backside. It doesn't work.
Yeah, and Nebula gets spammed out through that box.
Exactly.
There's nothing he can do. Alfie Lad 3 HP.
Dash again.
It's this dash again, and it's not finding
Where is the players that try and then help out with this? If you had JWB there with the Prowlers there, it's just too slow.
Yeah. You got the Yori pushing up as well, but it seems like they're just a bit too scared to go for this. Nitro, though, tries to take out Nebula, but Nebula connects the shot really cleanly there. Punishes that aggression from the side of Southampton. A rare misplay from them. This smoke, though, this could be some good timing for Yem. Got the blind available. Maybe hoping that Hagrid's Hermione's will hop on up here, but they're instead going to go towards B. But Synergy's in a perfect spot, lines them all up as well. That's 3 on the round for Synergy. And it leaves it down to 2 players. Zia's just pushing through this molly. Just needs to find something here, but the timing is just not there. The spike will be recoverable, but I mean, for now, Hagrid's Hermione's just caught out.
They are indeed, and a lot of damage taken for both players there towards the end, and now it's going to be down to a 2v4. Nebula have to try and do something here. Doesn't manage to get anything, but Synergy has been caught out.
Yeah, Nebula wants to go aggressive here as well. 30 HP, has to go for the fight, but Synergy, that's 4 on a round, just needs 1 more. Spots out the final player in Zia. Can you connect these shots? Was unable to get the ace last time, but this time is able to connect. It's an ace for Synergy, and a 10th round on the board for Southampton.
It is indeed. That is 10-1. We are last round now in the half. And I mean, just that's the thing, right, with this composition. Often it can be a little bit confusing because, like, you don't have that Sentinel, so you are opting for that Viper to be as a Sentinel. But if you're that good on the Viper that you can lock down your site perfectly every single time, and it's these positionings, they're not panicking too much. You know, we're seeing Yem, hey guys, smoke's gone down through mid, be careful kind of thing, and then we're seeing just the peak out mid and managing to get 3.
Is it this dash again for EUX? Although this time it's combined with an ultimate. Wanting to get more aggressive, this could be the answer they've been needing, but Unga Bunga's ready. He's managed to find the first onto EUX there. That's the player taken down. JWB wants to get aggressive, the blind is there. The Jet manages to get out away with their life, as Alfilad will find one onto Yem. Brings the numbers even for now, but JWB in an awkward spot wants to take this fight, but no, they're ready for it. The Clone, though, flashes them up, and the trade is there from Alfilad. Managed to find 2 with the Sheriff so far, but Nitro catches Nebula lacking. That's unfortunate for him, and it brings it down onto 1. Doesn't have the health there, but the shorty is there as well from Robbie, and it's an 11-1 half for Southampton.
It is indeed, and what a brilliant start to the series, right? I mean, this is your first half going into this best of 3, and it has just been absolutely stunning. You know, seeing the top 2 players, 14 and 4 from Synergy, 14 and 6 from Nitro. You see, look at these, they're insane.
The crazy thing as well from Synergy is, you know, 9 of those kills were from 2 rounds.
Yeah.
1 was a pistol, 1 was an ace.
Yep.
The rest of the time, I mean, Synergy's just kind of
That's what you want from your quote-unquote Sentinel, right? Because you don't have to be, as long as you're clutching up those rounds where you need to be, you can just sit back, and he's doing such a good job of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be all onto this pistol round. A must-win for Hagrid Hermione's.
Yes.
If they lose this one, Southampton would be on that match point with the the gun advantage as well.
I mean, you would force up at that point, but even so, you still won't have a good enough.
Yeah. I mean, even for Southampton, they can just go, do you know what, we won't buy this next one.
Exactly.
We'll just fall into the one after. But EUX, there's aggression down mid, this time on the defense side, though. See what you can find. The TP is not available back. He's just gone for this without any kind of support. Just wants to get aggressive, going a bit risky, but not spoiled anyone just yet. Zira in the smoke will get spammed out a little bit, but the kill is there for Alfie. The trade is back, though, for Nitro. Brings the numbers even again. And so far, they're just unable to get this space. As I say that, they've managed to get into this A site. The spam's on through as well. And it was all left onto 1. Nebula, a 1v4 required. Classic in hand, spots out the players, but unable to connect the shots. And it's the 12th round on the board. Match point for Southampton.
It is indeed. And at that point, you know, technically it's doable for Nebula there, but you're 11-1 down. You're in a 4v1. It's not looking good. And that mental really has to start taking a toll.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, these teams are really good. That's why, this is to get into top 8, right?
Yeah.
So these players have all come really, really far. But do you have that mental capacity? You know, these guys ran all the way through the upper bracket, right? Dropping down. They've had a week off. So, you know, it could be a little bit rusty, it could be that. But, you know, you really have to keep that mentality high.
Yeah, I mean, Des was saying both teams lost to the same team, so these two were fighting out. They haven't fought each other before in this stage, but Zia, though, managing to find the first. A couple extra stray shots there as well. Just trying to take the little wins, and I mean, it's going to take a lot of those to get back into this, but I think for now, Hagrid Hermione's, this is just how much can you get back and just rebuild the momentum back for next map.
It is very unlikely that we're going to be seeing Hagrid Hermione's win here for this first map, and like you said, it's just trying to claw back, but then also, do you not kind of want to waste your energy and kind of just get this map over and done with and move on to next map? You know, we're going to be seeing Haven next map, which is going to be very, very strong for both teams. Is it worth it?
Yeah, I mean, Southampton just willing to sit back as well, knowing that for Hagrid's, they're going to be probably a bit more restless on a round like this. They want to just spot out these players. I mean, we're seeing Zia just jump spotting behind this box. As it looks like the players from Southampton, they might lurk through perfectly on this. This could be really good timing, as looks like the Fade player just lurking under the box, maybe aware of this possibility. Although it's only a matter of time until Zia, there we go, gets spotted out. And Nitro, a great headshot onto the player there. Brings the numbers even again, and this time, Southampton, 30 seconds left on the clock. Not into sight just yet. We're going to have that Phoenix ultimate available. Nitro going to be that first player in. Just trying to spot out as many players as possible and take down some if you can. The Molly sent on through as well. The shots connected and the kills are going their way. 2 players left standing. And I mean, what can you find? JWB going to have to try and take this fight early. Alfilad, flash available, ready to go, but it's too little, too late. And it's a 13-1 for Southampton. A really dominant map for them.
It is indeed. I mean, only 1 round on the board for Hagrid Hermione's, and it was their bonus round, right? And the issue is that just they weren't really getting anything. We're seeing that dash every time in mid. it's not working. Sure, it has possibilities 1 or 2 rounds if your teammates are there to back you up and really utilize it, but you're wasting that dash. We didn't see any sort of, I think 1 round or 2 rounds we saw that mosquito play that you usually see with that Yoru and that Waylay, and we just didn't see the combination of the two being used much together.
Yeah, not at all. And I mean, for Southampton, they were just winning these rounds and cleanly as well.
Yep.
Like, the majority of those rounds, it was some kind of multi-kill, and then all of a sudden, it's a 1v4 or 1v5 for usually EUX or maybe Nebula.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That's the thing. We saw 4v1s so many times and so many eco rounds for Hagrid for money, because the issue is, sure, you have your buy round, you lose it, you go eco, fine. That pressure starts to build. Okay, right, we really need to win this buy round. They lose it, back on pistols again, and it's just 3 rounds for Southampton every single time.
Yeah, it felt like every time they won 1 round, that's a guaranteed second round.
Yeah.
Like, it's way easier to win the map when it's one like that. And I mean, as we look into that next map, what do you do if you're on the side of Hagrid Hermione's?
I think it's going to be different. I think going into Haven, it's going to be a very different style, and I do think they're going to be more ready. But if Southampton can keep up that kind of impenetrable defense that they've got going on, I see no problem at all.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it is one of those. I mean, we spoke about it before. It's down to the pistol rounds.
Yeah.
If you can win those first 2 coming into it for Hagrid Hermione's, you've got a chance to build back into this. If you lose those after the game you've just had, I feel like the mental fight back, not even just the actual gunfights themselves, but the mental to win back from that position, only having 1 round on the board last game, I mean, what do you do?
I mean, the only difference is Haven is that 3-sided map. But, I mean, with how big Kurod is, that mid is quite, elongated. You have pretty much the same space as you would on Haven. Obviously, you have 1 more site to plant on, so there's a bit more of a versatility in the map. But it's very similar in size. So I reckon it may be different, but in terms of there wasn't many rotates coming from them.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of commitment going on either early on or too late in the round after kind of lingering for a little while and not getting any kills from it. If you're going to go slow, get a pick. And they're going slow, not getting a pick, going on the site, and then there's a 5-man retake from Southampton. They're just getting demolished.
Yeah, and I mean, from that, as you were saying, that demolishing side from Southampton Reckoning, we'll have to see if Hagrid Hermione's can fight back in that map too. We're going to go to a quick break, but we'll be back very soon with that map. You don't want to miss this.
Hello and welcome back to NSE Valorant. We are on possibly the final map to see who makes it into top 8. How are we feeling?
I mean, after that map, I don't really know how to feel. It felt like it was one where it's on one side, you have the side of Southampton Reckoning. You've just had a great map. 13-1, every round was dominant. On the other side, Hagrid Hermione's, it felt like they had no way in. I like to see a bit of a closer series, and I really want to see that bounce back so we get to that map 3, but I'm also a bit worried after a showing like that.
I know. Thing is, this is our team, right? This is our university. We're hoping for the best, and these guys are very strong. I was told during the break, apparently had a little bit of a last-minute comp change. I do believe Nebula was supposed to be on that fade, but even so, if you're changing that comp, you should be confident enough, to adapt to that sort of style. And I'm a little bit worried going into this second map that it's going to be kind of, the same way.
I feel like also, if you'd had the agent changes, maybe a little bit in the macro, but also the micro wasn't there. They weren't winning those fights.
Yeah.
You had that push up every single round from EUX that just wasn't getting anything. And it's I feel like what I want to see more of next map is making those adaptations. You send a player here, they get nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, send them one more time. If it's nothing again,
exactly.
change it up.
You're seeing him doing it every single round on that attack. And like you say, if it's not working, just try something new. You should have these backup plans just in case these things aren't working. And that's adaptability. I mean, also, we haven't really seen that from Southampton because we haven't had to.
Yeah.
They haven't been having to adapt because everything has been in their side of the court. And it's been working fine without a problem.
Yeah, it feels like the kills were kind of falling into their lap, especially that 3K lineup. I mean, yes, you dream of you swing through and there's 3 players there standing and you kill all 3. But the likelihood of that happening, especially teams at this level, we're in Division 1 here. This is not like the lower leagues. This is not like, oh, let's just stack with friends. These are the players that are ready to play. We've got immortals in these lobbies. It's just a bit of these misplays where I feel like for Hagrid Hermione's just need to clean those up.
I mean, the thing is, right, with that play, they were all hugging the wall. It makes sense. One person's looking forward, one person looking backwards. Fine. You're putting so much trust and faith in that person looking forward to immediately get that kill early on without the other person even getting 1 or 2. Because the second that first person goes down, those 2 people that aren't looking forward aren't going to have an idea what's going on.
And if you're all in one row, I mean, 2 bullets and you're all gone.
Yeah.
Put someone on the other side of the wall maybe, and then you clear both sides at the same time. Little plays like that. But I feel like we can't even pin it down to one player. It's just one of those
exactly.
Maps.
It was the whole map. I mean, going into Haven, it's gonna be very different. Especially the players themselves are gonna be kind of opting to. I've lost my track of thought.
That's all good. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what agents we get going into this. I mean, having ones like these, controllers. What do we see on a map like Haven? Do we see the Vipers with the Omens? Do we see just the solo Omen? What do we want to see?
Yeah, definitely. And I think they're really going to want to hopefully change things up and get a bit more comfortable. And like I said, what's meant to be in that Nebula on that initiator. I mean, JB is known for that initiator. Don't get me wrong, very good IGL, especially, which you tend to see on that initiator, right? But Nebula are going to be opting for that Sentinel again.
Interesting to see, though, that on both sides you've got the double duelist, but again, it's Nitro with that Phoenix. I feel like Phoenix, definitely can get a lot of, stuff done on a map like Haven, but I feel like we see it a bit less picked into, and maybe it's a bit of a comfort pick for Nitro. Feels like, if you've got a player that's willing to just kind of go in and fight and take those fights early.
It clearly worked.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of long angles on Haven, down C long, down A long, but again, you have short. Never mind. Ignore me. Nitro now opting for that. Oh, hold on. Let's just not talk about it. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Jinxing it too much. But you have a lot of those short plays. You have Garage. You have A short. Even B, being able to swing around with those flashes and know 90% of the time it's going to flash the player is very, very strong. Especially if Euro gets picked alongside that. The double flashes alongside the Omen. The flashes from there. The amount of utility you can dump from Fade with those Prowlers with that ultimate. It's a lot of util being... It's overwhelming. If you have all of that going onto a site early on, especially on B, for example, it's a very small site.
Yeah.
You're then going to be pushed out of that site, and it's yours for free.
Yeah, you need to find those ways back in, and then having that Killjoy on the one side, that's really good. You've got that lockdown on those rounds, you have the way back in. Chamber on the other side, really good for locking down the sites. But the moment you lose the site, Chamber's a lot less effective.
Yeah, Chamber's mainly for C, and then you see KJ on C locking down that garage with the turret as well, but also really good for retakes on A. With that lockdown, especially obviously it only comes around a couple of times in the game, but can be very, very strong when you're going onto that A site.
Yeah, 100%. And we'll have to see what they do going into this one. With the pistols especially, we need to see them win those rounds early. I mean, for Hagrid Hermione's, get that early intel, get that early setup going. And I mean, on the defense side, just kind of lock it down. This is kind of, you have to read into their pace. We saw last map, they weren't maybe able to adapt as much as they would have liked. But this is where, on that defense side, you have to be ready for it.
Do indeed, but as we go into the first round of the second map, a very aggressive start early on into this mid.
Yeah, I mean, Nitro wanting to get aggressive early, but there's players on both sides here, and they don't get spotted out in time, so Alfilad gets the first. We'll get traded back by Yem, though. There's a couple players on the other side. The spams on through won't connect from EUX, but early on, that's some good intel. And Nebula, he's managed to find one with the Classic as well. We'll get traded down, though, by Robbie. Brings it back to this even numbers on each side, but on both sides, you've got a player weak as well. Got to be careful. EUX repositioning towards Garage here, maybe expecting some kind of push here as the turret is down. So there's no way of knowing this without committing a player there.
Definitely back down to you. We're seeing it a lot on Haven. We see a lot of changing of pace. Very early start, quick, fast pace, and backing off after a few kills. But it is very even so far. Like I say, the health is low, but this is what you expect on pistol rounds. A lot of chip damage, a lot of early kills.
Ooh, this could be timing from EUX. Got to get the hop out the window just about right. Maybe not expecting that chamber to be on the other side. Synergy could get a lot of damage, but instead EUX opts to not go that way, maybe wanting to regroup with the team. Synergy holding down the backline just in case for a mid push here, as Yem going to be watching for CT. Shock Dart sent on through to just try and tag any players. The Recon Dart is sent through as well, but Synergy's behind them. Synergy gets both for free. And Zia will get one, but that will be all, as it's a round on the board for Southampton, that pistol round.
It is, and with a player like Synergy, when you're on that Viper, that first map, very slow, very methodical, very, again, as that Sentinel almost, and then you get put onto the chamber, you have so much ability to kind of just lurk around. That trip now doesn't have a range. You can put it down and have a confidence that you don't have to, you can still lurk around as you want to. You have a TP, you can run away if you want to. Obviously, it was pissed around, not going to have full util. However, this is just the start of it. I reckon we're seeing Synergy a lot going into this map.
I mean, that was a great play as well, locking down that, positioning through mid, but also, if they don't clear you out, you've got a free flank on them, and it works out so perfectly for them, and now you've got that Outlaw in hand. I mean, you're probably not going to expect too much aggression from the side of Hagrid Hermione's, except for that Neon in EUX pushed all the way down A, but...
I mean, there was a Prowler that tried to go out to see anything in mid, but there's nothing going to be very open in mid, actually, to be fair. The turret is going to be in Garage to hold it down, but a lot of space, like you said, from EUX taken through A main.
Southampton, though, not really wanting to push too much too early, but...
We saw that a lot last time, though, right?
Yeah, they're willing to just kind of sit back and let Hagrid Hermione see what they can get done, and the EUX might get punished for this. Got to clear out the corners, and again, they don't clear these corners. Robbie managing to find one there. That's your Neon player down. That's that fast rotation out the way, and it's called for a rotate over. They're going to the wrong site.
They are indeed, but that is going to cause... At least they're going to be grouped up. No more kills are going to happen on C. One or two get killed, and it goes down to a 2v4 retake. But there's going to be a lot of time wasted.
Also, all of that util as well, sending those smokes on through, just trying to stop it. But no, it's going to be the C site for the side of Southampton here. They're going to have full site control as well. Going to be one player hopping over early, Azir. Managing to find some positioning towards Garage. Won't allow for Southampton to push out here, but they can go all the way back down long if they please, and they've got that Outlaw in hand.
They do indeed. A few classics trying to get a bit of information from in the smoke. If they can try and get some right clicks, but Alfilad is going to get tagged down to 12 HP, and that's not good for this retake, especially when you have these pistols, and it's probably going to be dying to the spike, right?
Yeah, at this point, I feel like you've not really got that way in, unless you can maybe find some exit frags here, but it looks like they still want to go for this one, but no, all the kills are going the other way, and it's all left onto Nebula. Classic in hand, 34 HP remaining, tries to go for the right clip, but can't connect, and it's a team ace as well. Split those orbs across.
A lot of util use there. You see the Omen Blood come through as well, trying to get something out of it, but it doesn't... I don't get... the time is ticking down, you have pistols, not much health, doesn't seem like it's that worth it.
And it's cause for this regen she would have to pull through.
And that's the thing, and these slow plays that really just eventually going to keep adding up to the point where you're not going to be in a position that you want to be in. And talking about those pistol rounds like you were, they haven't managed to get them. So now that mental is going to be even worse than before. It's not looking great.
This could be an interesting setup towards A long. EUX wanting to go aggressive early, sends the stun on through, the recon dart as well. Will get broken straight away though, so Not able to spot out how many, but at least aware that there is a player watching this way. So EUX shouldn't commit much further forward. As I mean, Nitro just trying to spot over towards the C site. Not spotting any players early, but Nebula's lurking around. Can be a great anchor player, especially on Killjoy.
Definitely. And is looking a few prowlers going towards A. Does actually manage to catch out EUX, but look at this positioning. Player backing up down long as well, but they're going to have to back off, and that's that space they really needed. These guys need to hold their space as much as we can. We didn't see much of Southampton on attack, obviously, because in that second half of the map, there was only 2 rounds, but these guys seem to be playing really well. They're still playing slow and methodical. They're taking their picks before the entry site, which is what Hagrid's were really struggling with before. They were kind of just bombing it onto site without any sort of regard for anything.
Yeah. I mean, that alarm port going down on C also made so that Alfie Lad had to swap over to C site.
Exactly.
They had to try and support Nebula, but they try and maybe get a bit aggressive with that flash, but not going to able to spot anything out. As Nitro going to be that first player in again. This is going to be an all-out brawl here. See what they can find. The tag's going on through. Alfie gets taken down to 50 HP. Has to just run away into Garage. Flash available, though. Wants to get aggressive. A couple straight bullets, though, could take them down, and it will, as Unga Bunga finds that kill. It's going to be the site set up now for Southampton. 15 seconds left on the clock, and Spike is down. Hagrid to Minis needs to go for this retake now, and they're losing the fight to JWB, though. Manages to find 2 on the other side, and EUX 2 more. They found a way back into this round, all down onto 1, and EUX, a great kill in the end. And I mean, it's a round we expect them to win, but it was a nice retake as well.
I feel like we've been here before, Jack.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up. It's what happened last game.
Before, but a very strong retake. Like I said, it's the coordination we've been wanting to see, especially what I was going to mention is that Alfie Lad, in a real good position, okay, not much HP, but just pushed on the site about 5 seconds while the rest of the team were there. You could have waited a little bit more time. All your team is in CT. You could have had a really good coordinated retake. But instead you push out with a flash against 5 people. I get the spike was going down. You could have tried and get something, but there was nothing worth risking your life for there.
Yeah, 100%.
But the coordination from JWB and EUX managed to bring it back.
Yeah, talking about EUX again, it's this aggression A. I mean, it didn't massively pay off for them last time, but getting that space early, and this time Alfie's going through B as well. Guardian in hand. Doesn't spot the players just yet, but they've been spotted on the other side. Going to be forced to back on up now. Still goes for the flash and the TP back, though, as EUX has managed to find an early one over towards that A site and will back off as well.
Has indeed, and this is change of pace. I was going to, saying about it's going to happen a lot on Haven, a lot of back and forth, especially with a Neon in play. But it's going to be 1 down for Southampton. And that attack immediately becomes a little bit more difficult. You don't have that lurking agent now to try and rely on. And you can, the same when you have such a good lurker, you can kind of make a lot of distractions on site and just play time and wait for your lurker to come through and just sweep up all the kills. But you kind of have to play a little bit more methodically now. Yeah,
I mean, we've seen what Synergy can do in the previous few rounds, but won't be here for this one as Alfie going to go aggressive again. We'll find out the garage is empty, and a great shot there onto Yem. Manages to connect with that Guardian. Nitro decides to back on up instead and regroup with that team. Going to pick up the spike, and it looks like it might be an A commitment here.
Well, indeed, and once again, Hagrid have left the site that Southampton are looking to go for. And oh, hold on.
Ooh, maybe second guessing. Nitro wanting to wrap back. 20 seconds left on the clock. Southampton need to be quick on this, but maybe they're going for a save.
They might be, actually. I mean, it makes sense, your time's ticking down. This is what we saw a lot of from Hagrid's last map, where there was a lot of slow plays and then not really much coming out of it from it. And Southampton's been doing that so far. It's been working for them, playing a little bit slow and getting these picks, but they haven't managed to get that early pick. They did actually end up losing those first 2 kills. And at that point, what can you try and gain for these? So taking a lot of time to then slowly work your way back. And as we saw, the time was ticking down. It does not work in their favour.
Yeah, it doesn't work for them. They opt to save the guns on through, but still going to have to buy up for Synergy and Yem. No ultimate available just yet for Synergy, but I mean, as we talk about the ultimates, they're starting to come online for both sides here. This time as well, JWB able to get activated a little bit earlier. We saw him last game, unable to get going, unable to get those kills, but I mean, this is kind of what you want to see early.
They do have double the rounds that they had last game.
That is true.
So,
and it's
only up from
here.
It is. It is indeed.
But I mean, Nebula again, often left towards C by himself, but this time got the backup of Alfie. And it looks like this is going to be a full commitment from the side of Southampton. The ultimate invested early. Nitro going to run on through. Alfie gets spotted out, though. Will get taken down by Nitro. Leaves Nebula all alone. Managing to find the first onto the ultimate, though. The molly sent on through to just try and stop this aggression, and they kept the backside control for now. Nebula, though, gets tagged up by that molly and gets taken down as well. Nitro managing to find 3 on the round. And all of a sudden, it's 2 players left standing for Hagrid's.
It is indeed, and they're both on the flank. EUX can try and get something out of it, but that trip is sitting pretty down long. And it's going to be as soon as that trip gets activated.
I mean, EUX finds it, but it still gets the intel for them.
Not much information, not much movement coming. Okay,
There you go.
someone's been made aware of it.
Euro flash ready. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a timing here. Going to flash on through a Nitro. Ready with a flash as well. Maybe the communication just not right there. The flash sent on through, and it's right there. Yem managing to find that one before JWD will find one, but has to back on up. No way back into this 1v4. And I mean, yes, you know, you lose that round out, but at least for Hagrid's and Hermione's, you save 1 extra gun.
You do indeed, and you know, especially I keep mentioning last map. You know, we're fresh into Haven, but these rounds are seeing a lot better. If they're losing rounds, they're still getting stuff out of it this time, rather than, you know, we're seeing a lot of just lack of anything from last game. So we're seeing a significant difference, and I think it does come down. We're seeing a lot more comfortability. EUX seems a lot more comfortable on this Neon.
Yeah.
JWB, a lot more control on that Sova. It seems to be working a lot better for them, but I'm just a little bit worried. No, Nitro, having Phoenix as your comfort pick is scary.
Yeah, and Phoenix this good as well. I mean,
Exactly.
seeing those flashes coming through, knows he can bounce it off the box, everything like that. I mean, it's the perfect place for them, but I mean, for Hagrid's and Hermione's, you managed to get this over ultimate online here, so you've got that option for that retake, or to just try and stop the plant, but looks like it might be an A commitment early here from the side of Southampton, but maybe not one to commit too early.
They do have that fade as well if they want to, and like we said, they have been, you know, playing very slow so far early on, which, you know, does take that timer down. If they have that fade it does allow them to maybe take sight a bit quicker if they need to. But as you say, that Hunter's Fury is there.
EUX has
He's
found
in a
so
very
much
good
space.
position.
He's in a really good spot here. Going to spot out one player and won't wait for anything more. Going to spot out Yem as well, and we'll get taken down, so the trade is there, but Nebula finds one on the other side. That's going to be 2 players down for the side of Southampton here, but for now, it looks like they want to go towards this sewers push.
Yeah, as well on the flank. It's going to be very, very strong. Alphalab managing to get one more.
I mean, it's perfect from Hagrid's and Hermione's there. They don't let the overcommitment happen. They make sure they keep it clean and manage to win all those fights in their favor. I mean, maybe a slight misplay from EUX there. You know, you've not been spotted out. Wait for a couple more players to hop on through. But in the end, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just that coordination we're seeing a lot stronger. And like you said, EUX is in mid, gets taken out. Surely there's no one else going. And then you're seeing Zia, right, okay. I'm not expected here to be able to go push through mid. And it's just that kind of that pressure that they haven't really been able to put on anyone yet. Especially on that attack they had first half of that first game, sorry. It just wasn't really working. And they didn't have much of a chance for second on the defense on that game. So hopefully we're seeing a different side to them. But this is very strong again. But okay, there's 2 of them there.
Yeah.
This makes a bit more sense, but that smoke coming out is going to be a little bit dangerous. And
Synergy commits perfectly onto that, and Nitro gets the second as well. That's both duelists down for the side of Hagrid's and Hermione's, but JWB, he's still here. He managed to find one trade back on the other side. Doesn't opt to back off of site for just yet. Wants to try and find out if they're committing to this. Azir manages to find the space through mid, but will get caught lacking as there's 2 players on the other side in that high-low setup.
the thing is, JWB has just given you another chance at this round. Being able to bring it back down to a 3v4, fine. You know that they're probably rotating, and I get, you know, pushing up a little bit to try and get a bit more information, but peeking out of that,
Yeah.
not the best idea.
Oh, JWB just gets tagged by that and tries to use the knife to get out in time, but not able to for now, and will get taken down. Nebula, a 1v4 would be required here, but I think in Nebula's position, just see what damage you can get. Try and get those ultimate orbs online to have that retake available for future rounds, but no, he can't find anything as Yem, a great shot on long there.
I just don't get it, because the round before, we're seeing Hagrid's have a really strong round with it, on A, we're seeing flanks, we're seeing really good pincers going on, and then it was a really good round from Zir, and they're going, right, this is brilliant. But then it did it again, but it wasn't at the right time, and you're going, is this just something that you do as default, or is it something that you're actually kind of thinking about? Now we're seeing Alfie Lad with the Operator, which is very strong on defense on Haven. If you can just get that early pick and kind of force a bit of a crack in that attack,
Yeah.
very strong.
But interestingly, on that glass cannon, not got the shields to back it up. TP is available, though.
These smokes have been default every single time because that's the issue. EUX have been pushing up every single time. Putting that smoke down forces EUX to stop pushing there, and then you put the operator there. That smoke's still coming through, and there's not much that can be done.
Yeah, maybe trying to find a timing, but now TP not available. Has to back off into that safer corner. I mean, A site left open. Other than this one player in sewer, I mean, if they opt to go towards long, it could be a bad time. As Alfie, though, manages to find that first pick. That's the spike as well.
It is indeed, and it's going to get picked up pretty quickly by Synergy, but as I said, that first pick is crucial.
Yeah, Robbie, though, managing to find the trade as Nitro wants to go aggressive in garage. Sends the flash on through, but doesn't want to commit too early. Aware that Nebula is on the other side. And I mean, gonna have that turret as well. You've got to be careful. That will slow up, you know, as you're trying to push on through. If you're trying to run through, that turret will slow you down. But Nebula wants to go aggressive, trying to spot out this player, but no, Nitro is there. Manages to win that fight through. As the ultimate is committed, the dimensional drift, Unga Bunga managing to find all this space on site, on C, but Zero is there. Shuts down the one player on Nitro. Ultimate's being committed across the board for Southampton here. It looks like they really want to commit into this one. Azir, blind sent through. No one spotted just yet, but EUX is in a perfect spot. Spots out one player, manages to get one, but will get blinded up by the clone there. 2 players left standing, and they've got that crossfire set up. Synergy, Tour de Force in hand. Just ready to try and take down one of these players, but the TP is not available. It's not an option here as Robbie. This smoke will cut him off. They don't have the protection now. Zero lurking on through, but Robbie will manage to win the fight out, but the stick is there the whole time, and JWB, he just stuck it through. I mean, the fights don't go your way in the end, but you managed to stick that through and win it out.
You do indeed, and that's the thing, having that kind of commitment and trust in your team is insane. I mean, fair enough. Right, and the cross was really good from backside and long, but the second, those Omen smokes are so strong because you have the Tour de Force, in the hands of Chamber. You can't start spamming through that smoke, right? And it causes such a panic. And he's forcing that backside player to then push through, and it goes down to it. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, Robbie manages to get one, but then goes
exactly.
to the smoke.
Yeah.
To try and, you know, have that safety, but I mean, the whole time, I mean, a heads-up play there from JWB to just stick it through, but...
Synergy does now have the operator, so it has swapped over sides, I think. We are going to be seeing Synergy with this sniper.
I mean, Alvilad may be aware of that. Doesn't want to go too aggressive
Yeah,
this
I mean,
time.
it makes sense to go towards A because we're seeing a lot of aggression so far, but no one's really opted to push up. I mean, EUX has stopped going towards that A long now anyway.
Yeah, Nebula spotted out a couple players on long there. We'll get tagged up by them, but Nitro would be the first player on through. We've seen it before, but Nebula, a perfect spam there. Manages to take down Nitro. That's been your first player in every single round. Alvilad's found the space on A as well, and will find the kill onto Synergy. Spots out more, got no TP to get back, so has to flash. Tries to run on back to regroup with the team, but spots out the player and can't win it, as Robbie will get that kill. Brings it down to 4 on 3. Southampton still a way back into this round, but they need to find a way back quick. 35 seconds left on the clock. I mean, Nebula's just jump spotting.
Yeah, I mean, these guys have been defaulting towards C every single time that something goes wrong, and it's been working about 50% of the time, but this is going to be sight. Front of sight, at least.
Oh, but EUX, he's in the perfect spot again. The spam on through onto both as well. That's the spike planter down. And it's a perfect retake there before the spike even gets planted.
These guys are playing a lot more coordinated than we were seeing, you know, even in the first half of this game so far. But, I mean, it's just working, like, they're getting these first picks, right? And it's causing a lot of dispersion in that attack, seeing a little bit wobbly here and there. And we know these guys have a really strong defensive side, so if Hagrids can get a really early start, which they're doing, you know, they're already on 5 rounds, so even at this point, it's a very strong first half.
Yeah.
But going into that second round, they have that Neon on attack, is going to be really good for them.
And also, the Phoenix on the other side, I feel like it's just not as effective on that side. So you see Nitro here, the ultimate committed on through, trying to avoid those Sova tags, will just about stay alive, but on the other side, Alfilad, Dimensional Drift will spot out these players. Nitro manages to find one before the ultimate will fall onto Zir. It's going to be the spike planted as well for Southampton, but still a way back in for Hagrid Hermione's. They've got that Killjoy ultimate on Nebula. EUX, the slide is there, but no, cannot connect the shots in time. As there we go, the Killjoy ultimate is committed here. It's going to lock down all of sight, going to force all these players from Southampton back, but they can still play long. They still have time here. Alfie is going to have that operator on hand. Going to be key here on this go for the defuse. It's JWB. Can he do it again? The connection is there onto one, almost a lineup, but JWB, last player standing, can do no more. And it's a round for Southampton.
It is indeed, and it was, you know, you've seen that lockdown come through, fine, but you don't have your smokes, right? As soon as that lockdown comes through, you know majority of them are going to be down long. You had one TP towards Garage, right? But the rest of them are down long. You haven't got much of a choice but to just stick it. You don't have those smokes to back you up. So the flash comes through.
Yeah.
And it is just all over.
When you got the Phoenix Aura on the other side, I mean, there's so many flashes to rotate through. Yes,
Exactly.
you probably used a couple to get into sight, but you're still going to have at least one or two. And this time, EUX going to get super aggressive in mid. Ultimate popped on through, but Synergy has managed to find one onto Zir. The slow is there as well, but JWV will find that kill onto Robbie. EUX unable to get anything done with that ultimate in the end, but space garnered for them for now as JWB's managed to find another before the trade is back from Yem.
Yes, indeed. A lot of tight spaces here, just trying to hold down their angles and save their lives as they can, and it has meant that Hagrids have backed off, so there's a little bit more space to breathe now for Southampton, but...
Oh, but Nebula pushes down C, a great shot there as well. We'll find Yem. Some great timing there, and leaves these two players left, kind of stranded in mid. They know that Nebula was aggressive down C, that the A site, you've got a player like EUX push all the way up in sewer. I mean, you got to find a way in. I mean, yes, you could go for the B site, but we've seen before, it's such a hard site to lock down.
It is indeed, and it's not looking good, and that's the thing about the KJ util, right? That is Garage and B both got information locked down on it, so no matter what happens, every single space right now, apart from A-Long, is being held down.
And then EUX, it's all down to timing.
It is
Not
indeed.
to go through from sewer or wrap all the way behind them. As soon as he hears that spike tap through, we'll see which way he goes, but Alfie over already as well in that backside positioning. Ready to lock down any overcommitment here. 2 flashes available, 13 seconds left on the clock. They need to commit to this plant soon. There we go, the plant will go on through. EUX is activated and so is Alfie Managed to find the first flashes through. All onto Unga Bunga, but no, EUX is there, the timing is there, and it's another round on the board for Hagrid Hermione's.
Again, the coordination, the adaptability, we're seeing a lot more, and is it down to comfortability? Because, you know, they're just, it seems like that first map never happened.
Yeah, I mean, this is nothing at all like the showing before. This seems like a really cohesive team.
It does.
A team that knows each other and knows how they want to play it.
Yeah, and I do think it was down to that last minute comp change, I'm guessing, on that first map. But that's 6 rounds for them now. They're guaranteed to be having an even half at least. One more round, you can gain those 2 pistol rounds that you lost. You can already gain those back, right?
Just look at the kills real quick. It's perfectly split across kind of how you'd want it to be. Your duelists are at the top. Everyone else is kind of balanced around. It's all nice and...
Very standard game of Valorant.
Yeah. No one being that 1-star player, which means it's a nice balanced lobby. Exactly what you want to see from a good team, and I mean,
it's something you see on Haven a lot as well, right? Is that again, that quote-unquote default map where you're seeing comfortability, standard comps.
Yeah. Southampton committing early onto this A site. JWB will get taken down, but the ultimates on the other side are available. Southampton committing some early Zir, though, in a really interesting position. The flash is there, though, so can't get anything. As Yem and Synergy combined for free. The spams on through onto Nebula, and he will fall in the end. And it's a flawless finish to the half for Southampton. But at the end of the day, it's tied up 6-6.
It is, and it's unfortunate for Nebula there, but what an absolute stomp of a round. And we haven't been seeing Southampton really have those fast-paced rounds. A lot of time playing slow, getting that first pick, taking sight, usually C, last minute. Just straight onto A, no messing about, and it worked for them. That, you know, trying to climb onto that last round before that half finished, and now it's going to be Hagrid's Hermione's on the attack.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they can get done, but I mean, also on the side of the Southampton, you've got the Yoru player going 5 and 6.
Yep.
It's not even necessary that they're losing a lot of these fights. They're just not maybe being able to get involved in as many as they want to.
Yeah, definitely, but it's very hard to implement your Phoenix into that composition when it's not something that typically gets done.
It's going to be a mid-aggression straight away from both sides here. The trade is there. It's going to bring it down to 4 on 4, so no early advantage to either team, but a lot of chip damage on the side of Southampton here. A couple of players down to that half HP. And I mean, Hagrid and Hermione's, they're all grouped up. They look like they want to commit to C early, but they're going to have Nebula in that back line being that late rotation over.
Which is going to be really strong, especially on these pistol rounds. We saw it from Southampton themselves on that first round. Being in a very good position, especially with the Bandit, but
Bunga maybe aware of a possibility of a late player here, but it's going to be all down to that timing from Nebula. As the retake is going to be in from Southampton. They want to get pushing on in quick. They send the smoke down towards Long to stop that Long player. But no one is committed to that for the side of Hagrid's Hermione's, and it doesn't matter about Nebula's flank because the player's been dropped already, and the fights are going their way, and Hagrid's Hermione's, a great pistol round there.
Yep, it is indeed, and they're in the lead going into the second half. Hopefully they can convert this this bye round.
I mean, it's their first pistol round win.
It is!
The series.
It is indeed. You know, 1 out of 3 isn't too bad, but I mean, especially when you're going into this is their last chance to win or keep going at least in this series, so they need to be able to make sure that, you know, they're winning these rounds. If you haven't done it in the first 3, the 4th one's to do it.
Yeah, maybe it's the change of the tide, you know.
Exactly.
Give them the first 3, give them the confidence. We'll flip it on its head for the second, you know, the next lot of 3, hopefully if we get there, but it's going to be an aggression towards Garage here. EUX just trying to dive on in early. Got the judge in hand to slide on through, and he gets the first and a second. Going to get one more. No, Zir will steal it in the end, and it's just locked down for Hagrid's Hermione's. Synergy last player is standing, but cannot find anything. And we were saying, can they do it on the second round? Yes, they can.
I mean, even when Hagrid's Hermione's have lost their pistol rounds, they've done a lot of damage in that second round, whereas they've just completely swept Southampton out of that round. And they've got all of their guns in hand. I mean, to be fair, they're not great. You've got the Judge and the Spectre, which usually you're seeing, especially on a map like this, you're seeing that Outlaw. You're seeing something a bit more long range. Okay, okay, there we go. That makes more sense. You know, having those half buys going into that second round means you can push into that range of the rifles, but
I mean, they can also still kind of buy into the next round as well if they wish. And Synergy, early pick there onto Nebula. That's going to be your flank watch down early, but doesn't really matter too much as EUX, all the site control found already. Going to be able to set himself up with the Judge here. Probably going to lurk through on this smoke on CT. Just try and stop any players, but for Southampton, they're going to be aware of this possibility, so going to be ready, grouped on up. EUX though, he wants to go aggressive, he wants to slide on through. The blind is there, but it doesn't connect as the kills are going the way of Southampton for now. And it's all left down onto 1.
it is indeed Zir going to try and do what he can. Spectre in hand.
Oh, managing to find one though.
One.
Doesn't opt to pick up the Vandal, but TP through onto site will get spotted out though, and Nitro is there. The rotate is in, and it's going to be a diffuse for the side of Southampton.
I mean, it's something we were seeing a little bit from Hagrid's in that first game, where they managed to win a round, and then when they were having these buy rounds with these rifles, they were just getting the spike down and then just getting a little bit too aggressive. You had sight completely free. Chill out. And we're seeing EUX very comfortable on that Neon now, but maybe a little bit too comfortable pushing up very early. Then you're forcing your teammates to kind of have to push with you to try and keep yourself alive and get some sort of advantage in those fights, but you're losing every single one of them.
Yeah, not going your favor all the time. And I mean, Nebula getting picked early as well. That's you know, a key player to lose. That player that will go on the lurks will be able to set your team up to, you know, have that more solid to stop the retake. Yeah,
definitely. A few ultimates now coming into hands, especially that Phoenix as well.
Aggression from Synergy as well. Got the CP ready to go back. Bit of a slow reaction there, but Nebula unable to connect the shots for now. Both players have spotted each other out though, and Synergy will connect the shots there. And it's already this early advantage for them. Zir though, finds some positioning towards the B site and 2 mid, trying to split this team in half.
Yeah, especially as that alarm bot goes down and trying to have to place a man down towards A long to see if, you know, if there are any players there, but
Hagrid's wanting to go aggressive as well, but we'll get caught out by Nitro there in the end. Robbie going to rotate on through, try and spot out these last few players, but the kills are all going in their favor anyway. Zir in the back line, manages to find one, would need 4 more. Spots all these players up, could it be there? The connections are not, and the blind is there just in time as Southampton bring us even again.
They do indeed, and there's something so calming about Southampton, the way they're playing. It doesn't seem rushed, it seems very methodical, very just tranquil, and it's, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels so much, okay, we'll do this. If it doesn't work, we'll do this. It's fine. And it just seems like it's flowing really well. And I guess that's adaptability. You know, we keep talking about it, but these guys, you know, they lost those first 2 rounds, right? What can we do to come back? They won that 3rd round, expected. But then that 4th round is where it's really making a difference. That 4 buys coming in from both teams, a few ultimates there coming up, and now they have that operator in hand as well.
Yeah, and I mean, it feels like on the other side, it's a bit chaotic. You got EUX going really aggressive through to Garage, kind of all alone. Got probably the Judge in hand again, I'd have to guess, but gonna get that site control early, but no, Robbie's up top, ready for
Where's
it.
the rest of your team?
The other side of the smoke is the answer, but the TP through. Nebula will find one, but Synergy has managed to pick one up as well. The judge is recovered for JWB here, and the plant will go down. That will at least be a little bit of extra money in their hands. Nebula are able to get the mollies as well, but turret will get taken down, so now has to be aware of the possibility of this flank. Has to be watching for it. JWB will spot out one on the other side. That's the chamber player, but he can be perfect with this judge. Manages to connect onto first, but that is the ultimate. Finds second as well. And now Filad's connected with the Sheriff. All of a sudden, the numbers in favor of Hagrid and Minis, but Nitro still here. Can't connect the shots just yet, but there we go. All down onto Nebula. Manages to get the first. One more player left standing, operator in hand. He knows he just has to play time. The mollies are there. He doesn't have to swing this. 15 HP remaining for Synergy. The time is ticking down. Nebula's just playing time. He doesn't need to go for this. And he'll get out away with his life as well. And it's the perfect play in that little clutch as well.
It is indeed, and it's just the perfect way to play Killjoy. You know, it's so underestimated. It's very standard comp. You know, when you're playing competitive and Valorant, you get your Killjoy to whack your mollies down on the spike, and you just kind of play time. But you don't tend to see it a lot in these sort of, high-level games. It tends to be used to, try and take space early on if you're trying to get sight and things like that. But sometimes just the basics really do work.
Yeah. I mean, also on top of that, he decided to go down long at first.
Yeah.
Turret does drop, so instead goes, what, I'll just take that space in mid.
Exactly. That turret goes down, and that allows Southampton to then take the space, which leaves that mid space open for him to come back through and get the kills even.
Yeah.
Hold on, EUX is doing it again.
He's going aggressive again. Can he find anything this time? Instead, he wants to hop up towards window. I mean, this is good to get some garage control early, but they're not committing to this. There's going to be an A commitment, but on the other side, the Yoru is waiting, ready, and doesn't get spotted out. Will manage to TP away as well. We'll spot out that spike, so that's going to call for a bit of the rotate
Hold
over.
on, there's an Odin. Wait, this could be really good. They know exactly where he is, and there's going to be another kill for Nitro, and Alfie does manage to take him down. And EUX getting that kill.
With the judge Synergy, though, with the operator, able to connect onto one. Unga Bunga in heaven. Can you spot out any of these players? Just trying to find a way back into this round. 3v2. Just going to have to drop down at some point. Alfie, though, manages to win that one out. Brings the numbers even again. JWB. Ultimate available, but not in a good position to pop this. The TP up top, though, from the other side. And they're both there, and JWB connects onto both. It's double digits early for Hagrid Hermione's.
It is. And I mean, again, a very strong round from them. A little bit cautious, EUX. He's a really strong player. It's, like you said, just very chaotic. You're seeing rounds that are working really well and the rounds that aren't so much. That was a very good round. Managing to get the kill, I do believe, probably a dash through with the judge in hand to try and get a bit more, close that gap between him and the Odin, staring him down. But it's just, you're sending, you have two duelists, fine, but you're sending your main entry duelist into garage whilst you're going A. That shouldn't work.
Yeah, it feels like you're kind of just trusting him to get some space. Then by the time you get A, people rotate over. If you can get that timing, that little window when they go across, and then you can just run through and get the kills from behind, and then suddenly there's so many question marks in your back line.
Yeah, I guess so. And also you do have the rotate quickly from Neon because you have that pace for yourself to run back and forth if you need to. So it worked really, really well. Just you don't see it very often.
Yeah.
But it's such a, I don't know. They have a few really strong rounds. We're seeing 2 rounds from them, 2 rounds from Southampton, now 2 rounds back again for Hagrid's in this half so far. So there's a lot of back and forth going on. And I do believe this timeout is very, very good for Southampton. These, like we've been mentioning, very slow, very methodical. If they can take the time to really calm down, take a step back and go, right, what do we need to do? But look at the pings going through from Hagrid's. Seeing a lot of pings going down towards A short, but I reckon it's going to be read pretty easily by Southampton.
Both sides.
And look at the ultimates on each side as well.
Everyone's grouped up on both sides. For the side of Southampton, one player without a gun only able to opt for the Bulldog, and I mean the Tour de Force also has to be popped. EUX. We see the damage with the judge before, but early kills go the way of Southampton. They've not spotted the player in the corner. Have to go back for now for Hagrid Hermione's. I mean, you managed to get a bit of space early. Got the Yoru into sight already. Not sure if he's been spotted out just yet, but the TP back for Zir. Has to go back to regroup with the team, and the Yoru just running back to try and back them up as well. But Nebula and Zir managing to win those fights. Nitro will get one back on the other side, brings the numbers even again. Spams on through, not connecting just yet. Got to be careful of the player in the corner. Nitro tries to line him up, but can't get it. Nebula, 4 on the round. And it's 11 11 rounds on the board for Hagrid Hermione's.
Very, very messy round. It's so unfortunate Nitro only having 4 bullets left in the chamber at that situation. You don't want to be caught out because you've got a good position, but when you got 2 of them slowing you down, you have to try and spray. It's so unfortunate, but very strong comeback for Hagrid, and that's going to be, like you said, 11 rounds on the board. 1 more, and that gives you match point. They have 4 ultimates on the board. All 4 of them are the strongest ones you could want. You know, Omen's great for certain situations, but the amount of force and pure just power that you have from these 4 ultimates right now.
So on the other side, the money's just not there. If they lose this one, they've got nothing for this next round. Synergy goes really aggressive here. Has to TP back though. Will get spotted out. And there we go. The ultimate is invested from EUX. Manages to spot the players. Manages to get the first there. Robbie caught out with his smokes in hand, but Synergy will get the trade. There's JWB there to back him up. 3 players left standing, but all the kills are going the way of Hagrid Hermione's. One will go back the other way. It's all left onto Synergy, but nothing more can be done. It's match point for Hagrid Hermione's.
Yes, it is. And I mean, just such a different team playing, right? We're seeing the confidence. And as you were saying in the before the match, sorry, if they lost those 2 rounds, it would be very, very difficult to then come back. They lost those first 2 rounds, and then since then have just been able to really just kind of claw back at it round by round.
Yeah, 100%. We'll have to see is, I mean, a round like this, Southampton, you have to find your way back in. You have no more second chances. The money's not in your favor as well. JWB early popping that ultimate, got the double tag with the drone as well. So just gonna full commit to it. EUX in, gets it through the wall as well. Doesn't shoot the clone, and it's gonna be the site control 4 now for Hagrid Hermione's, and it's gonna have to be a retake from Southampton.
Synergy's in a really good position here, but it is down to a 5v3, and the manpower is not in your favor. TP comes through, manages to get one of them. That's gonna be a very strong advantage.
Nebula, though, in the smoke, ready for it. Gets the trade back on the other side. I believe the judge in the smoke on the other side for CT as well, but it's not needed. All left down onto the solo player of the Yoru, and the judge is there. It's a 13-8 for Hagrid Hermione's, and they've managed to find their way back into the series.
They have indeed, and I was saying Haven is going to be that real difference in this series, and it has been a very strong game, a very close game.
Yeah.
But a very different side from Hagrid Hermione's. We are going to be going into Abyss.
Yeah, I mean, Abyss is that final map. I mean, just then, it was close, but 13-8 in the end, managing to win those last few rounds. I mean, it was perfect plays from Hagrid Hermione's, the exact bounce back we were looking for.
It was indeed, and they just they had that synergy. It was working well. Also, on the other side from Southampton, we didn't see much from Synergy himself. You know, kind of after that Viper and then the first few rounds on this map, it was right. Okay, we're seeing a lot from him. Didn't really activate much in that chamber. We weren't seeing a lot of activation from the Phoenix as well, which works again on a map like Corrode, where you have all these different corners that you can flash around. You have that advantage every single time. On a map like Haven, it's very open, especially Seaside, which they were defaulting to pretty much every single round on their attack. It just wasn't, their composition did not match what they needed to be doing.
Yeah, it felt like it worked really well for that last map, but as you were saying, the Phoenix kind of kept a bit quiet in this map, but also it's the exact momentum shift we were talking about. For Hagrid Hermione's, can you find your way back into that? You know, managing to get that third round, and we're like, please don't be a repeat again, but this time managing to secure some more, and then in that second half, finally winning one of those pistol rounds, gives you just that little extra, you know, couple rounds to be ahead, means you can drop a couple of those ones when you're on the gun rounds.
They can indeed, but I do believe we're going to take a quick little break before we go into Abyss, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
everyone, and welcome back to map 3 of what's been kind of a surprising series.
It has indeed, going from a 13-1 stomp, if I dare, to a opposite 13-8 win. So we are going into map 3, and I reckon, Abyss, it goes one way or the other, right? We're either seeing a stomp, or we're going overtime.
Yeah, I don't like the fact you mentioned overtime already, but like if we get there, we get there. But I feel like with a series like this, it's a tale of 2 maps so far. You have that first one, as you were saying, dominant.
Yeah.
Southampton played it perfectly. No notes on that one at all. We go on to the second one, Hagrid's Hermione's. I mean, you come from a 13-1 down. We expect you're probably not going to do too well in the second map, but out of nowhere, they managed to get it to that 13-8, and it's great play from them.
It is, but I feel like Southampton played really, really well in that first map. They didn't have much congestion, right? And then going to the second map, they still played really well, very slow, very methodical, like I kept saying. But at that point, then the second any sort of congestion starts and they get challenged a little bit more, they just panic. There was nothing really to it. Kept talking about, them having to stay back and EUX having to kind of just push in immediately. But that being said, we are on a different map and we do have agent select. So as we have a full pick actually from Southampton.
Yeah, kind of one of those more default-y compositions.
This
you see the Astra coming through. I mean,
but
the Omen is the second.
Omen.
That's an interesting choice. But I mean, the Yoru Jet kind of expected, and on a map like
And the Sova.
The Sova is, you
Yeah,
expect to see
exactly. But you usually see Astra standard fine. Having that ability to smoke from anywhere is brilliant. But the Omen just doesn't really make sense. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see.
I mean,
but
playing around the blind, I guess, maybe. But
yeah, on the other side, Nebula, I'm a little bit scared. What do we...
I mean, if he locks in that veto, that can be a great one to pick. I mean, you see on the other side, you've got, your Yoru and your Jet. Yoru will send a flash through to go on through. Veto goes, no, you won't.
Yeah,
that flash is gone.
That is true, but also... These guys haven't been playing fast, like we were saying. There hasn't been much aggression, very fast-paced attacking, from Southampton. So Vito kind of seems a little bit, it is there to kind of just shut off that fast-paced aggression, right, onto site. I don't know. We'll have to see how it gets used, but, pretty standard. Otherwise, EUX, again, on that Neon makes sense, alongside that Yoru, that backup as well, allowing EUX to be able to push out like we saw a lot of on Haven, but on a map like Abyss, mid is going to be crucial.
Oh, 100%.
It always is.
Yeah, I mean, on a map like Abyss, it's another one of those big maps. If you don't have that mid control and you want to go for a rotate, good luck. You got to go all the way back through your spawn. It takes you so much longer, and you've got Astras that can throw smokes from the other side of the map, but that's no use if you can't get any players there.
Yeah, definitely. And with the amount of controllers that we have on this map, I do believe we're going to be seeing a lot of phantoms. Very much, having that spray through the smoke without that bullet tracing is very, very handy.
Yeah.
So I do believe we're seeing quite a few of those coming in. Obviously, you are having those pistol rounds first. But other than that veto pick, a pretty standard composition.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see kind of the ideas that Hagrid's Hermione's have built around this veto. When you pick into something that's not picked as much on a map, this is where you really want to see, what setups have you got? You're on this attack side. What's the plan here? But it looks like for now, it's going to be this mid push early. EUX, when we said it before, going to be that first player in. The Yoru there to back him up this time. He's just going to run all the way through. That's mid control fully there for Hagrid's Hermione's, and for Southampton, just willing to kind of stick back.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's the thing about the Neon, right? Look how fast they managed to get this mid control, and that's the spike down with them. But look, even one towards B, one towards A main, they have a complete control of sight, and I think they're taking a very big advantage of what Southampton have been doing so far.
UX going to try and take the fight first, but yeah, managing to win both of those out as well. That's the spike down. But Alfie managing to find one back on the other side with that ghost in hand. Aware that there's multiple players more to deal with, and the rotations there from Southampton. I mean, they got the spike, you might as well group on up, but now for the side of Hagrid's Hermione's, where do you go from here? I mean, you got Zir pushing up from sight, maybe able to catch one off guard. I mean, Yem is very low HP for now. It's all going to be down to this timing. Zir going to swing on through, going to find the kill onto Yem there. Get the numbers even, but Spike still not recovered. And you're going to swing through, the smoke get taken down by Synergy there. Unga Bunga finds another as well, and Nebula. 1v3 required, managing to find 2 though. Still pretty much full HP, got the util available, TP is there. Unsure where this player is though, and Nitro's there ready with the Sheriff, shuts it down.
a very standard pistol round. We haven't been seeing a lot of, Southampton winning that out once again, but down to the last player standing. We're seeing a lot more of a stronger Valorant that we've been seeing, even in that second map as well. But I mean, just the pure pace out of that early on. I mean, to be fair, that's great. You have that space. You really have to work with it, make the most of it.
Yeah.
And with the pistol rounds, you're not really expected too much. You haven't got that util to kind of back yourself up too much. But is it worth wasting a round like that to take so much space? Because now they're ready for it.
Yeah, it felt like, you got that space early and then didn't know really what to do with it. Maybe didn't expect to get it that easily. And EUX trying to spam some sheriff shots over, unable to connect onto any of these players for now. But again, it's another one of these where for Hagrid's Hermione's, they find this space so early. This time, towards the A site. Spike will get planted on down. Nitro throwing some bullets through the smoke here, but unable to connect the kill just yet. Yem there to back him up, though. So it's going to be the kill in their favor as Unga Bunga finds one. We'll spot out more players. This stun could be perfect from EUX, though. They're going to get aggressive. Can they line up the shots? Manages to get one, but Robbie gets to trade back. 2 players left standing for Hagrid's Hermione's and Nebula. I mean, the classic shots are great, but not enough against these better guns.
I mean, it's right. What we've been seeing from these guys, especially in that first map we saw, even when they were losing those rounds, a lot of damage still done. These guys are very strong on these pistols. And Robbie down to 3 HP, for example, and a very strong start. But the Outlaw's still in their hands. Sure, the guns are going to come over on the side of Hagrid's Hermione's. I did see a quick half shield there, but EUX has managed to fall by out of that, and it's going to be, a fall by from them. Nebula also coming up close to that ultimate very soon. Okay.
The judge is there.
The judge is there.
EUX, I mean, we
Also,
saw what happened last map.
So many half shields from the side of Southampton. This could be really strong.
This could be a really damaging gun, but only going to be one player on the other side here for Southampton. It's going to be an all-out air attack. The player's going to TP back as well. They're just willing to give up that side. Kind of aware that they don't have the weaponry to try and back this one up. And for now, it's full site control for Hagrid's Hermione's. We saw this last round, but this time they've got the better weaponry.
They do, and the flash is going to come through. Try and get out of CT.
Oh, it's perfect there.
Yeah.
Robbie gets taken down. That's the Outlaw down. The stun is here to push Synergy back as well. EUX searching towards mid. Will get tagged up, though. Now going to know the positioning of this player, but I mean, for Southampton, feels like you've really not got much of a way back in. Here, though. Oh, going to get challenged by 2. The blind is there, but still wins them both out, and JWB will get another as well. Synergy, last player standing behind Nebula, but he turns around. He's aware.
That is going to be the first round on the board for Hagrid's Hermione's, and a very strong one at that. And like you said, Southampton didn't really, they had potential. They still had a lot of manpower, but just didn't really feel like they had it in them to, was it worth the effort to try and get that retake going?
Yeah.
One player sitting in a spawn all by themselves, trying to get the most out of that Outlaw, and the rest of them trying to struggle to survive in main.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see going into this one. Ultimate's starting to get there.
Yeah, just on the horizon a little bit, but a few smokes going to come through towards mid here. There's going to be a lot of aggression from EUX once again.
Judge in hand this time, but we'll get caught out there. Unga Bunga may be aware of this possibility. I mean, we've seen EUX do it before. That drone's going to force the TP back from Robbie. Going to be back towards that B site. Now, only 2 players left on A. Players trying to lurk on up, though. Yem could be in a really interesting spot here. Alfilad's going to get spotted out here. The spam's not there from Yem, though, as Alfilad will find that kill in the end. That's another spike planted on down. It's just this early round aggression from Hagrid's Hermione's. Nebula this time won't get affected by any utility with that ultimate popped. Wants to just keep on fighting on through. Can he find the kills? Yes, first one down. Spots out a second and connects the shots as well. Nebula just wanting to fight through and just forces these Southampton players probably into a save.
It does, and the thing is, it was looking like such a strong defensive side from Southampton. They had the smokes, they were in the smoke, hiding on site, and then Alfilad getting taken down so weak and still managing to get those first kills on the site, and it gives them so much control. And at that point, we're seeing a lot of kind of aggression from Hagrid's Hermione's. Once they plant, they like to get aggressive, which wasn't working for them before in these last couple of maps. But for some reason, this time it seems to be working really well. Yeah. I don't know if that's down to the lack of util from Southampton, but the agents they selected, you have Jet, you have Sova, which don't have that just overwhelming amount of utility to use. It's very hard to be able to, hold down that site.
Yeah, and it feels like also so far for Hagrid's Hermione's, they've not really had to pull their trap card, so to speak, in the veto.
No.
It's kind of been down to send the EUX in. What space can you get?
Yeah.
Let's just go fast into a site, lock it down, get a bit of mid control if we can, and that's all they've done.
Yeah,
But, I mean, we still haven't seen maybe these set plays they have hopefully set up with Nebula. And it gives these opportunities for Southampton. I mean, you need to fight back in earlier on. Just try and find these gaps nice and early. And this time, going to be some mid-aggression. Aware that this has been a spot that Hagrid Hermione's like to push, you know, pretty much every single round. But this time, they opt not to send a player there.
They haven't, and that's going to be B-site complete theirs if they want it. But it's very split up still. A lot of players towards mid and A, but Nebula could be in a very good position right now. But the timing!
Oh, he doesn't get the timing. He gets taken out by Nitro instead. That's a bit unfortunate for them, but that's going to be the go button for the rest of Hagrid Hermione's. They've got the site control. They're going to plant this spike on down. It's going to be the B site. But EUX, he's lurking through towards mid. Got that outlaw in hand. As Alfie wants to get aggressive on the other side, aware that these players could be close. Sends the flash on through, but Synergy won't get blinded by that one. The Stinger connects onto the first. Able to reload as well from the safety of that box. But EUX in the back line, manages to find one. Does he spot out a second? No, not in time, but JWB gets one on site. Make that a second as well. These are all down onto Unga Bunga, the jet player. 1v2. Full HP remaining though. JWB will opt to pop that ultimate. He's low HP, so doesn't want to commit too early. It's not connecting just yet. There's the time ticking on down. Zir just needs to play for his life here. Aware that this player could be on it, and there we go. It's the perfect play from Hagrid Hermione's there. Not giving that opportunity back in.
Yeah, I mean, and what a round as well. I mean, a lot of guns lost, to be fair, but we've seen them being a little bit more patient, a bit more, you know, calm about things, especially when you have, you know, EUX who you can just tell really wants to start running in, but having that bit more of control allows them to have just such a more understanding of the game. I mean, Robbie now on the operator to try they're having to try and deny this push.
Yeah,
right?
I feel like every time we see Robbie on the op as well, it's without those shields.
Yeah,
have that extra
it seems
backup.
desperate.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got a judge on the other side on EUX, which
Yeah.
is going to be exactly what happens here. Robbie has to just go back, has to TP back.
Exactly.
But Nitro managing to win the first. That is EUX down. That's that judge on the ground. But Hagrid Hermione's, they wanted to commit into this one regardless. Ultimate popped. They tag out every single player behind this wall. But yeah, managing to find one. Alfie Lad could be in a good spot, but is the timing there? No, it's not. As the kills are going the way of Southampton. I mean, it leaves it down to just JWB and Nebula. Just stuck over towards main here. JWB aware of a possibility of a flank here. Maybe going for this rotate early on. Nebula just stuck here behind the smoke, and JWB just about wins that one out, but 30 HP remaining. And that's going to call for the rotations over from Southampton.
It is, but that being said, still one player sitting, waiting, ready, and Nebula is going to take them down, and that is going to be a rotate a little bit back towards A, and that's going to confuse the players of Southampton, but that does give a lot of space towards B, and JWB is going to have it if he wants it, but he's set in heaven, that's the issue, doesn't have much health to work with.
Looks like he didn't want to commit too early, but Nebula going to get caught with his knife out, and Nitro a third on the round. JWB, a 1v3 required. 30 HP remaining. Full utility though. This is still possible, but on the other side, got to be aware of that Hunter's Fury. Wouldn't expect it to be popped from Southampton, but it's always there as an extra option. One in the backline to deal with in Nitro. JWB. So we're going to be down to the timing here. Two coming from mid. Can he get the line up through the operator? This could be an easy first kill, but gets spotted out there. Can he connect shots on the first? Yes, he can. 8 HP remaining, but no, he's not ready for Nitro in the back line. It's 4 on the round for Nitro and a round win for Southampton.
It is, and that is going to be the third round for them, evening it out, and they still have that operator in their hands. It's a very strong round for them. But it's just going back and forth. Like, seeing the rounds that we were seeing last game, obviously, Hagrid Hermione's had a much better game last game, right? But even then, the rounds were going back and forth. It was all or nothing between the two teams. But now the rounds they're going down to these last, one player, two players. And the health that's being chipped away, we're seeing a much more even fight compared to the first two games. And now we're also seeing 4 ultimates from Southampton, which is going to be very crucial for them, especially they have the operator still in hand. Robbie does now have it with the full shield, and these ultimates as well if he needs to get out of here.
Yeah, and for the other side, Hagrid Hermione's only got that one on EUX. I mean, yes, a very good damaging ultimate, but you need to get the timing right. As already the Hunter's Fury sent on through from Southampton here. One tag onto Alfie Lad, but manages to get away for now. Robbie, the timing just about not there. TP's back as the player swings on through, but I mean, Robbie, unfortunate timing in the end. Nebula, though, gets caught by a lot of players there. Will get one, though, for his troubles, as the spike will get planted towards this B site. And they want to fight forward again. Hagrid Hermione's EUX going to be that first player in, but this Dimensional Drift going to spot them all out. The stun sent on through to slow down the players. And Southampton, a couple of you are very weak on the other side. EUX will get taken down in the end. Alfie Lad, operator out, ready. Zir, though, going to have a lot to deal with, and already Robbie's in the backline as well. Alfie, got to try and spot these players out now. 1v4 required. A couple players brought down weak, but the operator in hand gets 2 already. 1v2 now. The spike is not blind for him, though. They're just sticking it through. Nitro, he's going to get the defuse the TP, though, not in the right spot. I mean, yes, you might be able to get these last couple of kills, but there's going to be all... Is he just going to run on through and get caught out in the knife, and he gets it? Not the round, but I mean, a lot of kills there for Alfie in the end.
Yeah, I mean, hey-ho, if the spike's not planted for you, there's not much you can just... I mean, why not? But that is going to be the 4th round for Southampton that's going to give them the lead in this game so far. A lot of ultimates, though, used from them, you know, having to secure that round. And now it's Hagrid's Hermione's turn. A few of the ultimates coming up. You have their own operator now as well, so that's going to be in the hands of Zero. Opting to take it away from Alfie.
Yeah. Allow Alfie to maybe get a bit more aggressive.
That's why, right? You have the Dimensional Drift coming through.
Yeah, exactly what we thought there is Alfie. Not going to spot out any of these players as Southampton opting to play a bit more passive on this B site. They'll send the clone on through to try and find some space. TP towards the back line as well to back up the teammates. And it's going to be a plant early. JWB going to plant this towards back site, just under heaven. And now it's just going to be all down to this time, forcing Southampton to go for this full retake. A 5-on-5. EUX on the other side. Judge in hand. Just biding his time. Ultimate available as well. So we're just going to be down to this timing. This drone, though, is going to clear him out. Can he get someone else to destroy it for him? Yes, he can, as there we go. He's going to swing on through, but can't connect the shots early. He gets the first. 1 bullet left in the barrel. Has to back on up, go for the reload, and no, can't find any more. The trade is there, but Nebula and JWB combine for 2 more. 2 players left standing as Synergy and Nitro managed to find 1 apiece. 2 players left standing on site. The operator connects, but a kill there as well. The trade, a 1v1. Low HP for the Sova and Nitro. 1 HP remaining, but connects the shot, but it's too late. Hagrid Hermione's managing to just about win that one out.
Again, these rounds going down to the last second. And I mean, it's so strong. We're seeing Hagrid Hermione's... The confidence as well from EUX. How, like you said, that drone being broken from his teammate, being able to then rush in and get this judge kills is perfect. But Nitro, I'm sorry, we've got to mention it. 11-3 on the Sova is insane.
And the thing is, it's great to see a player like Nitro popping off, but then you look at it, it's a 4-4 half. You look at the other side, they're all kind of similar around on the kills. Whereas for Southampton, it feels like you kind of need Nitro to pop off.
You do. It does seem to be, you know, what's getting in those rounds, especially those kills so far. Been a 4-man push towards B. This is interesting. They are in an eco, so...
And he land up shots the lineup as well, gets the second. The collat is there. Zir hits back it up as well, managing to get 2 back on the other side. And for Southampton, I mean, you go for the aggression, you manage to find 1 for your troubles, but that will be all. All left onto Robbie.
Robbie will be able to get a kill, but as I say, there was a player grabbing the orb then. I thought it could have been great for Robbie, but unfortunately the timing was not there, and that's going to be 5 rounds for Hagrid's Hermione's. And it's very, very good for them. They're now looking towards a full buy. You have 4 ultimates on the half. Sorry, on the rounds that they want it.
Yeah.
Also the veto ultimate, which we haven't been, you know, we don't tend to get cards veto a lot, I'll be honest with you. So it's nice to see, interesting to see how they're going to utilize it on this attack. You know, do you send him in as almost as a duelist alongside both your duelists that have that full ranged attack? But they haven't really had much issue getting sight yet.
Yeah, it feels like the util isn't really the stopping issue, as it's the guns up instead, as Robbie managing to get the first there. Will get traded back by JWB. I mean, I feel like for the veto, you got to wait until that second half when you're sticking those spikes on through.
Yeah.
This time it won't be JWB doing it. You'd expect it to be Nebula, but as I talked about that, JWB managing to tag a player backside, aware of the positioning. But this has only given them the front site control with this Astro Wall. It's great to split the site in half, but it means you don't have full control as JWB. Plant should go down just in time here. There we go. As the tag through the wall, though, Alfie has to back on up. Opts to TP just to be safe. Azir, though, on the back line. The early tap there from Unga Bunga. Gonna expect all these players to run on through. There we go. The ultimate is committed as well. They can just stick this behind the wall. There's no way to stop this for Hagrid Hermione. Synergy, he's just defusing the whole way through, but Zir, the timing could be there. Manages to get the player off to defuse. Nebula finds one as well. And suddenly it's a 1v2. Synergy all down to can you find these last 2 players. It's half already as well. The time is in your favor, but no, Zia manages to find that kill as well, and it's the 6th on the board, guaranteeing at least an even half.
It is, like you said, it was looking so strong for Synergy to try and stick that, but also, like you said, that wall can also be your demise, and that's the thing, right? When you're putting that wall down, it's great for yourself, you can put where you want it, but it allows the other team to get so much space early on and then work it, work their way back through. But I mean, hey ho, they did actually manage to come up on top. So
yeah, it feels like it was kind of down to Zia being in that mid positioning. You know, maybe aware. Do you know what? Synergy also has the ultimate available. We need to make sure that's not going to be an option for them. But commits to it, manages to find the kills, and it works out in their favor in the end. But it's going to be some early aggression again from Hagrid Hermione's as EUX already onto site, but will get taken down by Robbie's judge as Alfie hops up top. Just trying to spot these players out nice and early, but no one is there.
that's 2 ultimates used within like the first 10 seconds from Hagrid's Hermione's. The overdrive and the Hunter's Fury both being popped there and not managing to get anything out of it.
Yeah, and also Nebula's popped through the ultimate as well.
Yeah.
Trying to stop any more of this Uto affecting him, as it's going to be a dimensional drift, possibly. There we go, Robbie. 28 HP, not too useful with a gun up, but instead this would be perfect for this ultimate pop instead. Alfie Lad managing to find one. Nebula combines for a second as well, and the hop through is not there from Robbie. And Nitro, I mean, we've seen the brilliance he's had this game, but a 1v3 required now with a Stinger. We'll get the first onto Alfie Lad, but the time is ticking down. 5 HP remaining as well. Has to be careful not to accidentally hop into a shock tower or anything as Nitro. I don't think there's any time left for you here. JWB will fall in the end, so it's going to be a Vandal recovered. But will Nitro get out in time? No, he won't, so no gun carried through.
I mean, to be fair, that's very lucky. And to be fair, they had good site control. Once that spike was down, it was pretty much all theirs. But popping those 2 ults, the overdrive going immediately, getting, was it judged? Or something happened to EUX, which was not...
Yeah, judged in the backside.
Yeah, exactly. And then you pop that Hunter's Fury from JWB. It doesn't work out. Sure, Nebula's then popped the ultimate. Nothing came out of that, but they did manage to win the round. And so, like you said, it's these little micro plays that are just so crucial towards these rounds. And this is the first time they've had this lead going into a second half guaranteed.
Yeah, and I mean, talking about Nebula as well, we said how useful is the veto. He's going 13 and 7, so he's got the gun as well to back it up. EUX just trying to get aggressive again. Goes the wrong way though, as it's going to be the players on the other side as Alfie manages to find first onto Yem. That's going to be that first blood again in the favor of Hagrid Hermione's, but they don't want to commit too early. Got 2 players towards A as well, but the spike is committed towards mid. Nitro will find one, but JWB there for the trade. A player on the other side almost gets got out there, and just about will Synergy. Fighting back on the other side, that player you have to watch out for on the side of Southampton finds himself free in the round. Nebula now, 1v2 would be required. Synergy doesn't know where he is, but Nebula doesn't clear the corner. He doesn't spot him out. And Synergy, a 4K on the round, gives Southampton a nice fighting chance back into the second half.
Indeed, and I mean, it's definitely what you're going to be needing, especially, losing those 7 rounds in that first half, so managing to bring it back in a 2-round difference, which is what those pistol rounds can make. I mean, we're talking about how crucial pistol rounds are usually in best of ones. This is pretty much a best of one at this point. Having this final map to decide who makes it into this top 8. But if they manage to get this 2 rounds and even out, brilliant. If Hagrid Hermione's get these 2 rounds and bring it to a 9-5, that gap has gotten so big at that point, and how do you then come back from that?
Yeah.
Especially on an attack when we haven't been seeing too much greatness coming from Southampton's attack. They have been liking these very slow plays, and with a composition like this, it's not really, Jet's great, but compared to that Neon, the pace is completely off.
Yeah, and I mean, Nebula setting up on the B site for now. Going to be interesting to see how that veto plays on the defense side. As we said, we don't often see it in games like this, but Alfie an early tink in mid there. That's some great damage onto the one player in Nitro. I mean, that key player we said about for the side of Southampton, that player to watch out for, their star player, but Nebula, aware there's no one pushing up, wants to get aggressive instead. Has to back on up though. Can he run away in time? Got the TP available if he can get in range, but doesn't need it in the end. As it looks like it's going to be still the commitment towards A site for Southampton. They just wanted to send those players over, maybe to, catch a player out like Nebula, but
again, it's so slow. They haven't managed to get anything out of this so far. You need to be getting that first blood if you want to be doing this. And even then, you probably want to be playing, very fast early on, then slowing down. But it's nothing coming out from the get-go.
Yeah, Southampton grouped up towards this A site. all 5 players. The tag will go through. Spot out the 1 player in Robbie. As JWB gonna spam on through here. A lot of damage onto these players. 3 of them brought down to very low health. And Southampton, I'm unable to get the spike planted just yet. JWB on the other side, gonna send the spams on through, but Nitro is there. Connects on 1 through the smoke. That's the Sova falling down, but Zero in the back line manages to take down 2. 3 players left standing for Southampton, but 2 of them are weak, and the EUX is on the other side of this, but can't connect the shots, as Yen will find one there. Brings the numbers even. The health is still there for Hagrid's. It's going to be a stick through. Zier, the timing could be there. Alfilad manages to find a player in backside. The spams are there just in time, though. All left down onto 1 player in Jet, and Alfilad manages to close that one out, and it was looking a bit worrying towards the end there.
I mean, the timing on that spike was so close to being defused. Unfortunately, that stick not just coming through, but that last kill being taken out over in heaven. And a very, very strong round from Hagrid's Hermione's. That is their 2nd pistol round out of 6. And once again, it's the second half ones. If you want any of them, it's going to be the second half when you're trying to race towards that 13 rounds.
Yeah, and I mean, they managed to lock that one down. They had the advantage in the first half as well without the pistol. Now they've got the pistol on board. That's an extra 2 rounds. And all of a sudden for Southampton, you're going to have to fight back in nice and quick here. We'll see what damage they can get done on this round. It's going to be another one of those where, you know, try and take as many guns out of the hands of Hagrid Hermione's as you can. But, I mean, for the side of them, they're just going to be happy to sit back here. EUX got the Bulldog in hand. Going to have a lot of players to deal with here, though, but can just run away towards backside, and he does choose to do that with the dart through. It's going to be the site control now for Southampton. JWB here, though, ready for the spam. Spam's a bit early there, but EUX will find one. The trade back there from Yem as well. And the spike will get planted down for now. Southampton set themselves up with the best chance they can here. Hagrid Hermione's going to have to go for a retake. That shock dart does a lot of damage onto JWB as well. Lots of players left to clear out on site. Alfilad, though, managing to buy in for 1 each with Zier. Synergy gets one back on the other side, and Nitro's got to hop up top. This could be a really good setup in the end, but no, the timing is not there for them, and Hagrid Hermione's managed to close it down. That's going to be 9 rounds on the board for them.
It is, and I mean, it makes sense, right? You know, they had those guns in hands, 2 of them going down, but the Outlaw, very strong from Alfilad. And JWB, I respect it, you know, waiting, had so much control in heaven. There was no smoke there, had a lot of ability to be able to try and get those kills. But waiting for the rest of the team to come back through CT is not worth peeking and losing your life. Unfortunately, he lost his life anyway. But you can see a bit more cohesion, a bit more just, you know, not thinking. That sounds bad. They were,
yeah.
But you get what I mean. It, you know, a lot more strategical from them. I'm seeing a lot of few pings coming through here on A main. I reckon it's going to be a little bit of a brawl going on.
Yeah, aggression from both sides here as Hagrid Hermione's want to find some early kills here. That's going to connect with the Outlaw there, just about, but no kill just for now. It's JWB with the Bandit. Would love to be able to, you know, finish off a couple more of these players. The Outlaw connects onto 1 more as well, takes them down for now, but it kills her back on the other side. But for Hagrid Hermione's, this damage is great. Get as much as you can on this lesser weaponry, JWB. If you can somehow win this one out, unable to in the end, but Synergy will win that one instead, as Zier going to be on this rotate on through. Going to be in backside Spectre. Close range is good, but not enough to take down Unga Bunga. And it's all down onto Nebula. I mean, he's often in these positions. This time a Bulldog in hand, so it is possible.
Does indeed. And Opti's going to try and take the Vandal, which makes sense. The spike is only just going down, so there's a lot of time still on the board for Nebula to try and make this work. But the issue is all 3 players are on site, grouped up together and all these different types of angles, and that is going to be Robbie taking out Nebula for the 6th round for Southampton. Again, it makes sense. 3rd round, it's their bonus, whatever.
Yeah, it feels like the Thrifties just aren't working. It feels like it's
yeah, I know. Unfortunately, we're seeing some very standard Valorant this today, but I don't even know. Like, we're seeing, it was even the potential towards the end there. We're seeing a lot of potential from Zier. The timing wasn't right. Trying to get yourself in these positions, but on sites like A, when sure you have the big box in the middle, but backside's huge. There's no cover, and essentially you need to get yourself a lot closer to be able to use that Spectre properly.
Yeah, unable to convert anything from that one, but a bit of damage for them.
Oh yeah.
As we'll see what Southampton opt to do here. This time it's going to be a mid push, sending 3 players down towards here. Going to send the drone through from Nitro. Not as confident maybe as Hagrid's were with sending EUX through. You don't have that Neon, so the option is not there. But again, Nebula set up top on this B site. Kind of just willing to play this solo if needed, but the 2 players nearby ready to rotate over. at a moment's notice, and it's going to be Bunga Bunga from the side of Southampton, ready to push on through here. Looks like they might want to commit to B, but for now, they're just willing to sit back.
They are, again, very slow. The difference in Southampton, you know, seeing Hagrid's Hermione's in these first couple of rounds on attack, taking mid so quickly, and it's taken Southampton a little bit longer to do so, but they nonetheless have taken a lot of space in mid. Sending the drone through in heaven, but they're just opting to back away from mid. Like, there's so much potential there, but the issue is you're by yourself. Bunga Bunga would not be able to do much as that jet solo, but there is going to be a rotate towards B and a little bit more potential as they group up.
Nebula gonna have a lot to deal with here, but Pops, there we go, just about manages to stop the util there, but will get taken down instead. First blood goes the way of Southampton, but Zero spotted a player underneath. That's the spike planter down. 20 seconds left on the round. This should still just about be able to go down for now, but one where Hagrid's would have maybe liked to be able to stop that one. Alfilad gonna send the flash on through. Only got the Sheriff in hand, and they're losing the gunfights out for now. Bunga Bunga, 3 on the round so far. Probably wants to keep on fighting forward, but will get taken down by Alfie. With that Sheriff, able to recover this gun, maybe. As all of Southampton playing back, EUX pushing on through, gets the first with that slide on through, perfect, but now has to get last 2. Manages to get 1 though. 3 HP remaining. 1v1 against Nitro. The timing just about manages to get to the spike in time. 3 bullets left in the chamber. Nitro down low. EUX isn't ready for it. The spike's ticking down, but Nitro's not swinging through. EUX wins it. Is the time there though? Has he got time for the defuse? No, he doesn't, just about, but a close round there for Hagrid's Hermione's.
3 HP left on the board by the end of it, and a very close brawl, but like you say, it's just not the time. Southampton managing to win that out in the end, and just, I don't know, I keep mentioning it, but these rounds are so much closer, right? We're seeing a lot more, we're not really seeing a lot more aggression from Southampton, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
That was the thing we were seeing a lot last game, where they just weren't having much of an aggression on that attack, and we were even quite timid on that defense. But they're almost kind of a bit more ready for Hagrid's Hermione's this time. You know, they're a bit more aware of what they're doing and where they're going, which helps. But even so, the change of pace that Hagrid and Hermione's have, again, with the Neon, it's such a good ability to be able, you can control the pace of the game. That being said, when you do get taken out by Yem, it's not very handy.
Yeah, not at all, but I mean, also, we were talking about the pistol rounds being important for Hagrid's Hermione's. Yes, you lose a couple of rounds, but it doesn't matter because you built up that extra buffer.
Yeah.
Synergy, gonna have a lot to deal with here, but Zia manages to win that one out. That's gonna be a gun recovered as well. If they push a bit further, they might spot this spike as well.
They might indeed. But we're managing to get the knife kill, but nothing else comes from Nebula, and that's going to be another kill in the hands of Nitro. Robbie is trying to see what's left of mid. Nothing too much. And this is going to be, look at what split is going on right now for Hagrid's.
Yeah.
Both players on complete opposite sides of the map.
If Alfilad can manage to find something early here, it could be good. It could be a way back in, but it's going to be another one of these deep plants again, just under heaven. So no way of stopping that for now. Alfilad, Marshall in hand, needs to try and find some kills early, allow an opportunity for JWBs to get activated in this round. But is he going to be ready for the player on the other side? He has the gun up, but can't connect the shots. Alfie manages to find one, though. Brings it down to that 1v3. Classic in hand, gets the right click as well onto the jet, but no gun to recover for now. Still a 1v2. Any damage here would be great if you can get a couple more of these kills, but no! The flash is perfect from Robbie. That's another round on the board for Southampton.
It was what you were saying, right, about the buffer. You have so many rounds in hand. There's 4 rounds where you're able to lose these rounds and still be okay, but there's only one gap left now, and that's the issue. That's the buffer can only last so long, Jack, and that's the thing. And when you're with such a strong plant spot as well, when you're able to take that B site without any congestion, then you can plant whenever you want in the open, and that straight line down towards main, it's so deadly. You have, you know, so many controllers in this map right now, but yet no smokes left alive to be able to cover you.
I was going to say, if you manage to have the Astro up or something like that, you can stop this opportunity, and as the ultimates come online, you might start to see you know, a bit more of a question towards that.
So I thought that was a clone.
I think that was just a clone off the map. I saw that as well and was a bit worried, but Zia managing to find the first onto Nitro there. That's a good early pick. Managing to punish this mid-aggression, not allow for Southampton to find this space early. And for the rest of the team, they're kind of willing to sit back, sending a couple extra players over towards A just in case, but not committing too early.
No, I mean, this is very standard for them, right, at this point. They've got a few smokes coming in onto site, kind of trying to block themselves off and take some space early, but even so, this smoke in main has been so strong, it's kind of completely denying any sort of a early push.
Yeah, I mean, EUX in this corner just ready to take these fights if they push one in, but
if as soon as he leaves, Yem has his eye right there.
Is Yem aware of this?
I believe so.
I think he might know where EUX is, but I mean, EUX doesn't need to move. No, it looks like Yem maybe expecting the aggression instead. We'll get spotted out by that dart as well, and the second player spotted as well. That's going to solidify Hagrid Hermione's being confident in where the players are, but this ultimate is perfect. Dimensional Drifts will spot out these players. EUX though manages to get to the backside away from everything, but Robbie, flash in hand, sends it on through. The flick is perfect from Zia, managing to get 2 as well. And all of a sudden it's all onto one player, last player standing in Yem. A great headshot there onto the first, but 6 HP remaining. A stray bullet is all it takes, and it will be all it is as JWB jumping down from heaven to get the kill.
It is indeed, and that's going to be another round in the hands of Hagrid Hermione. You're just avoiding that even score for one more round, and that is, I mean, Alpha led back on the operator, right? And this is the defense that we'd like to see. But, I don't know, it just feels a little bit unnecessary. I mean, to be fair, if you've got the money, fine. But a lot of the times we do see a lot of outlaws coming through, especially look at the buy round currently for Southampton. It's looking
you can barely
very
call it
poor.
A buy round.
Exactly. So
We're seeing like 3 stingers. This is not great. I mean, EUX was ready for an early pick there. Almost had an opportunity, but opts to back up instead as Hagrid Hermione's rotating 2 extra players over towards this A site, and Southampton just want to commit to this early. They're going to go for this kill as Unga Bunga pushes on through. Will get stunned up though, so has to back on up with that dash. Spike will get planted for now, and for Hagrid Hermione's, it's a 5-on-5 retake, and already they found the first pick. A kill up top as well as Yem gets caught out. EUX managing to connect the shots, but will get taken down in the end. As a combination there from the rest of the team. Robbie, 1v4 would have to be the one. Manages to find one onto Nebula, but the stinger, the spam on through, it's not connecting. JWB sticking another defuse, and the operator from Alfie Lad is there.
And that is going to be yet another round. Obviously, we were into double digits going into that round anyway, but it's just securing these extra rounds, and you know, not much coming out of that sorry, not the outlaw, the operator, but even in that last kill, backing them up and being able to secure it, it's just so good. And to be fair, it was an eco round. You're not expecting much from Southampton at that point. Now that look at the buy, Synergy still not being able to buy that full shield. Nonetheless, 2 ultimates. What can you do with them at this point? Do you know what I mean? One of them is an Omen ult, very hard to utilize as it is. It's just trying to use your util. You don't have much of it to begin with. Only really on that, I mean, Sova, it's situational. It can be really strong, but only if you kind of have it paired with something backing you up. But you have the Astra and the Yoru.
I mean, you also say about the lack of util. On the other side, there's a veto.
Exactly.
You have to be so careful when you're using it.
Exactly. It's really hard to be able to choose when you want to be able to use these. You only have a scarce amount of agents to utilize with you to anyway. And that being said, one of them has been taken out by Alfie Lad with the operator.
He's going all out aggressive, almost connects that shot as well, but will get taken down by Synergy in the end. The first ultimate is invested there, the Hunter's Fury, but won't connect onto anyone for now, as this is going to be a rat back, but Nebula, he's in the back line here. This could be a really good position. He's going to spot out Nitro, but he's going to keep on lurking through. Doesn't want to commit too early. We'll take down Nitro as JWB finds one with the Hunter's Fury back on the other side. Bit of team damage there onto Zir, but it's not going to be too much for now. Synergy will take down Nebula. That's the flank down. It's going to be 3 players left for Hagrid Hermione's, but all 3 coming from CT, but it doesn't matter. EUX found 1. Synergy, 5 HP remaining, but finds 2 back. It's for the ace, 5 HP. Can he get it? 1v1 against JWB. The time is still there, 20 seconds. Got to avoid these shock darts, though. 1 stray bit of damage is all it takes. JWB just trying to connect 1, and he does in the end. But a worrying sight there from Synergy, almost able to clutch that one out.
I was about to say, surely the calls have come out that someone's realized they've tagged Synergy enough to realize he's on such low HP, and it's just about playing that time, JWB. And again, on those little parts of B, with the Sova shock darts, right?
Yeah.
There's not many places you can run. There's so many walls that you can bounce it off of, and it's so unfortunate that, especially after those 2 kills as well from Synergy on such low HP as it is, you would like to see something else from it,
I mean, I was also worried. Every time he brought that shock dart, I was like,
I know.
it takes us for them to swing right now, and it's over, and it's an ace clutch. And we're talking a whole different story at that point. Momentum shifts and everything, but
Yep.
instead, Hagrid's onto that match point. 4 ultimates available as well. Southampton, you've got the Astral Wall up as well instead, but it doesn't matter. Azir managing to find that first kill early on. Nebula wants to get aggressive as well. Spots the player with the drone. Can he find one more? No, he can't, as Robbie finds that trade back in the end. I mean, for Southampton, you still got those ultimates online. Still a possibility. But Hagrid's have got so much space, especially towards A side.
Yeah, definitely. And the speeds slow down just a little bit, and as these guys opt, where do you go at this point, right? Because you have very little to work with. Sure, you have both smokes and the duelists left, but you have EUX sitting very patiently in main, and as the smoke goes down, manages to get 2, and that is 1 down left, managing Yem. Last player standing, 1v3, sorry. Spike is going to be down, manages to pick it back up.
He's got the ultimate, though.
Does have the ultimate, that's why they're rotating back over. All 3 players are split between A, B, and mid, and that's the thing, you can have 1v1s if you want them, but that Spike still has to go down. The second you tap it, they know exactly where you are.
Does Yem go for a little bit of a bait and switch? Tap the spike, TP over, but maybe not ready to be aware of the player on the other side. Sends the smoke on down, taps the spike, goes for a second as well. And this pull is going to be there. It's going to pull him out in the open. He hasn't got the spike planted down. The dimensional drift there as well. They know exactly where he is. He's saying, shoot me, shoot me. 6 seconds left on the clock. Has to stick it through. Yem, though, managing to survive for now. Is Yem managing to find one, but that will be all. A knife kill to finish it off for Alfie, lad. And Hagrid Hermione's a monumental fight back in that series.
It was indeed. I mean, Alfie managing to get, I do believe, 2 knife kills in that game. Very, very impressive, but an absolute comeback. Maybe Corrode just isn't their map, but an absolutely insane performance from there, and they are going to be making it into the top 8.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of have to write off that first map. It kind of didn't happen. The second 2 were both 13-8s. You know, close maps for the majority of the time, and then all it took was that, you know, that little bit of maybe, you know, a switch flicked. They worked out, this is what we need to do, and Hagrid's Hermione's lock it down, but I mean, unfortunate for Southampton. A 13-1 gives you the most momentum possible going into a second map, and then you're just unable to convert it.
Yeah, and again, I know I keep mentioning, but they're just playing so slow. There was no change in pace. There was no adaptability. It worked first map fine. I do believe, again, that was probably just down to the comp changes on, you know, the staff side. It just wasn't working for them, and it just gave Southampton a lot of comfortability, which was fine for them. But then you get a little bit of competition, a little bit more hard work put in, and suddenly everything just collapses. Not anything that you thought was working well just really does not work, and they just didn't want to change anything.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, the fight back is there from Hagrid's Hermione's. They will be moving on into that top 8. Unfortunate for Southampton Reckoning, they really did put up a fight in the end. And I feel like you've got to, you know, hold your head high after a game like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, any best of 3 that goes to map 3, you know, both teams definitely deserve to go through. Especially, you know, even 13-8, these guys definitely put up a show, you know, and especially, I think it's the first half where they've really started to shine, where they were on that, you know, the defensive side, and it was working really well for them. But unfortunately, you know, Staffs did manage to put it out the bag towards the end.
Yeah, it wasn't to be for Southampton Reckoning, but Hagrid's Hermione's, they'll be moving on. That's going to be all from us, but we're going to throw you back over to the host to break down the rest of that game.
Thank you very much. What a series. Oh my days.
Them games were crazy.
It's just not what I expected at all. You said that first game, Southampton winning 13-1. I was like, Hagrid's Hermione's, you're going to have to pull a proper spell out of your book for this one. And they did.
I thought it was over. Like, I thought, that's it. We've lost. And then, like, the second game, it was close, and then the third game, it was close, but then we won. I'm like, what?
I think it's so brilliant the way they played it. They had that rough game 13-1, and normally that would knock down your ego completely. You would feel defeated, but they kind of took a step back. I noticed they played a lot slower. They kind of, this is where I want to highlight Nebula. They used him as an anchor in a way, kind of pulled them back and played a lot slower, because we all know Nebula's probably that's how I nearly said the slowest player. That's not what I mean. More the gentle player. They know how to strategically do. I say they're the strategy of the team. That's the better way of putting it. And I feel like it really worked well. They were able to kind of play around him, be quite slow, use their utility to get everything. And even though it was pretty back and forth, we had like 6-6, 7-6, 7-7. Like it carried on just going like that. they pulled it out the bag. They had those last few rounds and took the victory to
They
get
looked
to
back
top
on their
8.
mistakes and realized we need to do this, we need to do that.
It was brilliant. I do want to highlight another star player on the side of Southampton, which was Synergy. They were playing so clean.
And we mentioned Synergy at the beginning, and then they were like, I need to live up to my name.
Oh yeah, we cannot fault Southampton's performance. They played so well, and honestly, I think pretty much all of us were like, "Oh, they're taking this."
The game could have gone either way, and from the first game, I was like, "It's over. Southampton has won," and I just thought we need to just say GG and like say they did well. But then, like, obviously, it was such close games, and both teams played really well, and it was such a like saddening loss for them.
Mhm.
Like they,
It sucks, but it is what it is. This is what we're here for, some great games. And honestly, I'm glad we got to see all 3 maps because there was some crazy plays. We had a 3-man collateral, a 2-man collateral, so much collateral that maybe I'm getting hurt because it's over. But
we had that 4K at the end as well. Could have been an ace.
I did wish it was an ace, but that's what I mean. They've got that util. They know how to use it. So obviously, huge congratulations to Hagrid and Hermione's. But I do want to highlight one signature piece, which was Alfilad and Robbie. They both played that Yoru exceptionally well, and that's what we kind of needed for these last 2 maps. Pure map control, and that's what Yoru does best. And they both did it seamlessly. But I feel like I do love the way Alfilad used it. Because he likes to have fun with it. You see him right up in the face, like he's like this, like hello, I'm the Yoru. This is where this guy is, and it works really well. And I kind of like that you can tell they're having fun with it while still performing.
And the
at a
last
brilliant
kill
level.
with the knife, everything just.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
yes. See,
I feel like that was a
fun.
bit brutal for the last kill, like them messing with him a bit.
Oh, but we like that. We like a bit of fun, but I believe that is all from us. Unfortunately, we have no replays for you. It's tech issues. Welcome to esports. You know the drill. But that is all. Huge congratulations to Hagrid's Hermione's making it to the top 8. We'll see what happens in the rest of the bracket, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.